All right. What's up? What's up? Sorry for ending earlier. The discussion today is called "The Kingdom is One: Awakening Beyond Duality." Awakening beyond duality. All right. We're basically going to continue the topic we were talking about earlier today. There is no separation. That is an illusion. We're going to go into how your awareness is reality. Let me hit live and let's get right into it. All right. You were never the character. You were the light behind the eyes. You were never the character. Okay. You were never the mask that you wore. You were never the story that you told. You are the light behind the eyes, the silence beneath the voice, the infinite one appearing as many. Strip away your name, your past, your roles, and what remains is not emptiness. What remains is the actual truth of who you are. You are still. You are radiating, unchanging. You are pure awareness. Pure awareness. This goes back to the question I was asking earlier, right? If you had no memory of your past, define yourself. Who would you be? Without using words, define yourself. What are you? You are pure awareness, pure consciousness, right? You are all that there is. And now that's next weekend. All right. So John 1:5, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Let's talk about this, okay? Let's talk about this quote. Let's break it down. So the first part, the light shines in the darkness. What does that mean? The light shines in the darkness, not as something separate, but as the truth that was always there, even when forgotten. This light is not a flame that we must find, right? Who you really are is not some kind of flame that you have to go search for. It is a radiance, right? It is a radiance that we were already before the story begins. It shines not as effort, but as essence. It is the awareness that watches even our darkest thoughts without judgment. This is that awareness of you. It watches everything that you do, no judgment. That is simply that I am, that you are, right? It is the presence that remains untouched while identities shift and dissolve. It is the I am that quietly endures when every mask falls to the floor. When you strip away all the stories you've been telling about yourself, your name, right? You're older than your name. You're more than your name, your job title, your family status, your social status, whatever story that you have, right? When you strip all of them away, you still remain. You still remain. All right, now the second part of that, right? The second part of John 1:5, and the darkness has not overcome it. What does that mean? Darkness is not the opposite of light. Hear that. Darkness is not the opposite of light. It is the forgetting of it, right? Yet even forgetting cannot undo the reality of being. Even when you forget, you still are. You are still aware. Even the illusion of separation is lit by the consciousness perceiving it. Even the illusion of separation is lit by the consciousness perceiving it. The false self may tremble, die, resurrect 1,000 times, but the true self, the indwelling Christ within you, that indwelling I am awareness within you remains eternal, indivisible, and unshaken, right? Remember, Christ is that title. It's that title of that I am within you, right? Christ was not Jesus' name. Christ is simply a title, right? It's a title, right? That Christ within you remains eternal, indivisible, and unshaken. The light cannot be overcome because it was never in competition. It is what allows even the darkness to be seen. The light cannot be overcome because it was never in competition with the dark. It is what allows even the darkness to be seen. This is why that stillness is so powerful. Because in the stillness, you touch the eternal and you remember that you are whole. When you just look around yourself, look in the area that you're in right now, right? And you look at it with no thought, you just observe, right? You remind yourself of how present you can be, right? You just become present. You just dissolve into this moment where all of those worries fade away. All of the things that you're thinking about that are going to happen in the future. All the things that you've been thinking about that could have happened in the past. They don't exist right now. They are simply part of your imagination. But what is right now is real. This is the only moment you've ever lived in. You've only experienced life in this now. The heartbreak you've endured. The heartbreak you've endured. The money that you've gained. The moments of joy that you've walked through. All of those things were experienced in the now moment. You've experienced the fullness of life in this moment. It is the only moment that exists. All right. So part one, the mask and the mirror. I know, long introduction, but now it's part one. Who told you that you are only a person? Who told you that lie? That you are only a person? That you were born a sinner? Who told you that? You are not the identity performing on the stage. You are the awareness of the performance. The you that you defend, right? That you defend, that you argue for its limitations, is not who you truly are. It is a mask stitched together from memory and belief. Define yourself, and all you will do is pull up stories. Stories based on a past that you perceive as solid and unchanging. A projected future that you believe is solid and unchanging. Right? Define yourself and you will simply define stories. Define anybody in your life and you will simply tell stories about them. All right? You are not the mask, you are the mirror. John 3:6, that which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the spirit is spirit. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the spirit is spirit. Next quote, the body is a garment of the soul, and the soul is a garment of the spirit. Okay, we're going to break these down in a second, don't worry. And the last one, right? The self is not in the body. This one's profound. The self is not in the body is in the self. All right? You are not the body, you wear it. A sacred robe woven of earth and breath, but not the essence itself, right? That body is not the essence of who you are. The flesh is flesh, beautiful in its temporality. It's a very temporary, beautiful vessel, but it is limited by time. What is born of the spirit, however, is not bound by decay. The real you does not experience time. The real you is timeless. It's absolutely timeless. Beyond personality, beyond even your sense of I, there is something that cannot be named or held. Spirit, presence, the unformed one who watches the forming, that I amness within you, that simply observes without judgment, that simply is. All right? The truth is inverted from how we have been taught. There's a completely different way to how we've been taught. Right? Your body is not the container of yourself. Yourself contains the body. Right? Your body does not contain yourself. Yourself contains the body. The body moves within you, not the other way around. You are the vast, formless field in which form appears and disappears. The spirit is not something you find by fixing the flesh. Right? You don't find the divine by fixing the flesh. It is what you awaken to when you realize you were never the flesh at all. Stop judging yourself. Stop judging the vast, eternal you by what is temporary. How can you judge the sky by the weather? The weather comes and goes. It's aspects of the sky, but the sky is eternal. You don't call the sky the rain. The sky is the sky. Rain is something that happens every now and then through the sky. Your body is temporary. Your emotions temporary. Your circumstances temporary. But I am. I am. It's timeless. This is who you are. You are pure awareness. Your reality is simply made of your awareness, man. You don't know what other people are thinking. You don't know what they believe. You don't know everything that they've went through. You simply know the story that you tell about them. Therefore, that is your reality. Therefore, that is your reality. But every moment you are brand new. You have a new clean slate, a blank slate to create the life that you want. Even yourself. How do you define yourself? Do you define yourself based on old stories? Or do you define yourself in the truth of who you are? You are the formless, timeless I am. That source within you could be nothing less than divine, worthy, whole, complete, prosperity, love, perfection. You have the consciousness within you to lift you, to resurrect you from whatever situation you are going through. You have the Savior within you. You have the Christ within you that can save you from whatever situation that you are going through. Stop believing that everything is so solid. Stop believing that your past is solid. Your future is solid. These are simply outpicturing of your awareness. Outpicturing of your awareness, right? You are the seeing. You are the seeing and not the seen. You are the character in the dream. Or you are not the character in the dream. You are the awareness dreaming. Okay? You are the awareness dreaming. Beautiful quote by Terence McKenna. You are a divine being. Okay? You matter. You count. You come from realms of unimaginable power and light, and you will return to those realms. Right? You come from realms before, right? You come from realms of imaginable power and light, and you will return to those realms. You will return to those realms, okay? Part 2, the deathless one. I'm reading them. We're going to do the questions at the end, all right? The deathless one. Your true self has no beginning and no end. It did not start with birth, and it will not end in death. All identities, every single identity that you have ever had will die. But the witness remains untouched. But who you really are remains untouched, all right? John 8:58, truly, truly, I say to you, before Abraham was, I am. Before Abraham was, I am. What did Jesus mean by that? See, if we read scripture from a very logical sense, right? If we read it like a book of history, right? Like a children's book of history, it sounds like he's talking about time. Well, yeah, before Abraham, sure, I am. Right? God was here before. But let's break this down metaphysically. Let's break this down metaphysically. Okay, before Abraham was, I am. So in this one statement, Christ, the Christ, that I am awareness within you. Remember, Jesus represents your I am awareness. Christ collapses time, identity, and heritage into nothing. All right. So Abraham, what does Abraham metaphysically represent? He represents the beginning of personal identity, right? The father of the Israelites, right? The beginning of personal identity, the one called out to become a nation, to carry a lineage, to begin a journey through time, the beginning of even separation. He is the seed of story, of separation, of becoming. But Christ speaks from the unbecome, the uncreated, the eternal awareness that existed before identity took root, before you thought you were chosen or not chosen. Before you believed in destiny, before you were born, before you had identity, before anything that you can describe yourself as, you simply are. I am. That I am awareness precedes everything. Okay? All right. So before the soul said, I am this, before the mind divided the one into many, I am. All right? The I am is not a person speaking. It is being itself, eternal, indivisible, untouched by name or nation. I am. Who are you? I am. You simply are. I am. I am, and that's one of the really powerful affirmations that Bashar says, right? Bashar, he will say, I am that I am, and that is enough. It has to be enough, because I am that I am is all that there is. Right? I am all that there is, and that is enough, so I can relax in this present moment with that divine knowing of who I truly am. I am, and that is enough. And that is all that there is. And that knowing can resurrect me from whatever situation, whatever perceived death I see in my reality. I am is greater. Okay? So the statement, let's go back to it. Before Abraham was, I am. The statement is not about chronology. It is about essence. Hear this. Christ does not say, before Abraham, I was. I remember when we're talking about this, when we talk about scripture, we're not talking about it from a time perspective. Right? When we talk about beingness, right? That's absolute. It's infinite. Right? When we talk about infinite, when did infinity begin? It's always been. That's the nature of infinity. Of all that there is has always been all that there is. Or else it would not be all that there is. You know what I'm saying? All right. So Christ does not say I was. Before Abraham, I was, as though referring to time. He says I am because awareness does not exist in time. Time exists in awareness. You are larger than time. Time flows through you. Even as you declare yourself to be something, right? The unfolding of what you decree through you, that is the time that you walk through. All right? That is the time that you walk through. Awareness does not exist in time. Time exists in awareness. The I am is the source from which even Abraham's journey emerged. The spirit behind the soul, the silence behind the voice. This isn't about one man being older than another. It is about the timeless self speaking from beyond the illusion of lineage. Before your parents told you this is what all of our family has went through. This is the medical history. Before any of that, I am. All right? The message is clear. Before you identified, hear this, with any role, any race, any story, you simply were. I know that one might hurt a little bit of feelings. Before you identify with any role, any race, any story, any gender, any trauma, any pain, any SP, I am. You are, you always will be, not as a character in the dream, but as the dreamer, the awareness, and the eternal I am. You are much more powerful, much more vast, much more infinite than you can ever imagine. You say things like, I lost myself. But how can what is eternal ever be lost? How? How can what's eternal ever be lost? Beautiful quote from St. Francis of Assisi. The one who seeks is not the one who finds. The one who seeks is not the one who finds. Because that which you are seeking is what is causing you to seek. That which you are seeking is what is causing you to seek. Beautiful. You are not moving through time. Time is moving through you. You are the awareness in which time moves through. Why is this taking so long? Why are you decreeing it to be so? Why are you decreeing it to be so? All right. And another beautiful quote. I am the silence that is incomprehensible. I dwell within all beings. Quote from the Gnostic text, the thunder, all right, perfect mind. So part 3, not in the world, but containing it. Not in the world, not in the world. I am not of the world, but I am in it. Let's go a little bit farther. I am not in the world, but containing it. All right? I'm not just in it, I'm containing it. The world is within you. You are not within the world. The world is within you. Okay? This world is not something outside of you. It is simply a projection within your field of awareness. What you call reality is a mirror reflecting the contents of consciousness. Luke 17:21. Because I know sometimes this can be hard to believe. The kingdom of God is within you. Say that again. This world is not something outside of you. It is a projection within your field of awareness. What you call reality is a mirror reflecting the contents of consciousness. Luke 17:21. The kingdom of God is within you. Consciousness is the screen on which all pictures come and go. The screen is real. The pictures are mere shadows on it. The dream appears real until you awaken. Then you realize you were never in the dream. The dream was in you. You were never in the dream was in you. You were never a victim of this reality. You were never even a character in this reality. You are reality. You are reality. You are only as small as you perceive yourself to be. You're only a victim if you perceive yourself to be. Right? We'll let that one sink. I know that one can be a little bit upsetting. That can be a little bit upsetting. You're only a victim if you perceive yourself to be. All right, so Gospel of Thomas. When you make the two one, and when you make the inner as the outer, then shall you enter the kingdom. When you make the two the one, and when you make the inner as the outer, oh my gosh, what is this talking about? Then shall you enter the kingdom. When the war between within and without dissolves into silence, when you stop seeing the outside and the inside is separate, and you no longer kneel before the illusion of separation, then the breath of the divine shall exhale through your skin. The lover and the beloved, the seeker and the source, merge like dawn into day, indistinguishable, radiant, no longer split between body and soul, thought and feeling, right? This is the illusion of separation. Body, soul, thought, feeling. Heaven out there, earth right here, God way out there, me down here. That illusion of separation. You become the holy conversions, right? Like I said, you are the identity of the divine. You are the identity of God. I know, a little bit of that could be upsetting too. You are the identity of God. The wedding of heaven and earth, where every heartbeat rings with the music of reunion. Every heartbeat rings with the music of reunion. Okay? For the kingdom, hear this, for the kingdom is not found in clouds nor temples made by hands, but in the still point where opposites collapse into one, when your gaze inward reflects your outer walk, and your mask falls to reveal the face of eternity beneath. You will remember, you were never exiled, only asleep. You were never a victim, only asleep. You were never in lack, only asleep to the truth of what dwells within you. You've never been lost, only asleep. You've never been betrayed, only asleep. To make the two one is to awaken from the dream of duality. To walk not toward the kingdom. How can you go toward the kingdom if the kingdom is within you? But as it. So you don't walk toward the kingdom, you begin to walk as it. Each step echoing, I am already home. I am that I am, no matter what. I am that I am, no matter what. You are not a body in space. You are the formless field in which space and time appear. You are all that there is. The kingdom is within you. Everything is within you. You are everything. Even saying things are within you is too small of a statement. You simply are everything. You simply are everything, all right? I am immeasurable light, dwelling in the all. I am the breath within every breath. That shit was cold. That was cold. That was cold. I am immeasurable light, dwelling in the all. I am the breath within every breath. Every breath. We can break that down in a second. I got you. Copy that so you can paste it again because I'll forget. All right. Beyond thought, beyond form. You cannot think your way to who you are. All right. You cannot think your way to who you are. Here we go. This one might hit home for a couple people. You can't think your way into being more divine. You can't think your way into the kingdom. You must become still enough to feel what has always been. The mind will ask, who am I without my story? When I say your life is simply a story, drop the story. Rest in the now. Who are you when you stop thinking? And then the mind will ask, oh, who am I without my story? This is the immediate question. You say, okay, who are you without your story? And then you'll ask that. Your mind will ask that. But the question itself is a trick. It's a trick question. You are the one aware of the question. And that is enough. I am that I am. That is enough. I am that I am no matter what. You are simply the one aware of the question. You are simply aware. I am. I am. Pure awareness, right? Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God. Beautiful quote by Rumi that I always bring up, right? You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Let's run that back. Let's run that back. Let's run that back. You cannot think your way to who you are. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. You cannot think your way to who you are. You must become still enough to feel what has always been. How often are you, let's talk about this even from a manifestation perspective, right? Oh, I want this, so I have to focus and think of it all day and affirm it all day. How often have you rested in the knowing that everything is cool right now and everything is unfolding for you perfectly right now? How often have you sat down in the stillness of simply I am? No thought. Can you turn your thoughts off? Can you simply I am? Stop defining things. Just sit in the now. Just sit in the now. You must become still enough to feel what has always been. The mind will ask, who am I without my story? The moment I say that, right? Define yourself without your story, without any memory of the past. Who are you? What are you? Why are you? When are you? Where are you? Whatever question you want to frame, without a past story, what are you? And then simply the mind will say, who am I without my story? But the question itself is a trick of thought. You are the one aware of the question. You are simply the one aware of the question, and that is enough. That is enough. Psalm 46:10, be still and know that I am God, right? You are not a seeker of God. You are what God is dreaming. You are not a seeker of God. How can you be a seeker of what you already are? How can you be a seeker of what you already are? I had an interesting comment. It said, you've over-realized the flesh. I want to be clear, right? I want to be clear. I'm not talking about the flesh. I'm not talking about the flesh. I'm talking about your essence, who you truly are, right? Who you truly are. Your body is temporary. The flesh is temporary. I can't be defined by that. Why would I be talking about something temporary? You cannot be defined by anything temporary. These are simply stories that you wear from moment to moment, and you drop them and pick up new ones just like clothes. One moment you're happy, one moment you're sad. How could I be identified with a feeling? It's temporary. One day I'm on vacation, one day I'm in the market, one day I'm doing this. How could I be defined by a job title? You haven't been a father or a mother or a spouse your whole life. How can you be identified as that? You are much more than that. Much more than that. The body is simple. It's simply the lantern that you are walking through life in, searching for the divine. The trick about that is that the same flame that has lit that lantern, lit your vessel, that is where God is. So as we're seeking God outside of us, God is watching us seek for ourselves. This is the paradox. This is why the more you look outside of you, you'll never find anything. You simply find more of yourself, simply more of a reflection. But the moment that you go inward, you find everything. You find the infinite. You find the infinite, right? You are all that there is. You are pure awareness, pure potential. You are infinite awareness, infinite potential, right? I am that I am no matter what, right? I am that I am no matter what. All right, so reflection questions. Number one, if I had no name or memory, would I still exist? If you had no name, no memory, would you still exist? Of course you would. Of course you would. You are much more vast. You are much more vast than a name or a memory. Which is simply, this lifetime is simply a blimp in the infinite that you are. Number two, Have I mistaken the costume? Have I mistaken the costume for the actor? I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you, Miss Shauna. Thank you. Have I mistaken the costume for the actor? Have you mistaken who you've been pretending to be with who you really are? Have you been? Have you been identifying with that bank account? With that SP? With that job? Or do you truly know who you are behind all that? Because without all that, you still are who you are. These discussions are so important because we've talked about manifesting a lot, right? And I always go through the comments and I see the questions. I'm like, okay, well, how do I address these questions? One of the things that tends to hold people back, and this actually did hold me back for a while, right? Is that we don't realize the power of our awareness. Come into this space to get a woman, to get a dude, to get a little bit of money, and then come out with oh shit, this is actually a full life transformation. This is actually a full life transformation. So when I realize that the only thing that I ever do is walk through life and tell stories about everything. You walk into your job the first day, or you walk into that interview and they say, okay, hey, tell me about yourself. And you say, oh, well, my name's Alex and I've been working in the industry for 5 years, and you just tell stories and you define yourself. When you meet someone new and they ask, hey, tell me about yourself. You make up a story based on your past that you think is solid, but that's not who you are. When we define other people, when you define this woman or this man that you're trying to get, how do you define them? Do you truly define them by who they really are? Do you see them for who they really are? Or are you just defining them based on the stories, based on the perceived past that you've experienced with them? Remember, the past is not fixed. It's not solid. Maybe it feels like that sometimes, but it's simply a projection of your awareness, your consciousness. It's simply a projection of your consciousness. You're not a victim to anybody, to anything. All of those things are waiting for you to tell the story so they can step forward. They are waiting for you to tell a new story so that new version of them can step forward. When you give people the energetic space to change, when you drop that old story, the past doesn't exist. The only moment you've ever lived in is right now. You've never lived in the past. You've never lived in the future. So why do we continuously drag our past into the present? Well, I've just went through this and that and this and Alexander, I'm not trying to complain, but this and that and this and that. Okay. You are brand new right now. Why hold on to those things? Why? You are fresh, you are brand new right now, and your world is really your playground. Your awareness is the paintbrush, right? That paints reality. And right now, you can rest in the now moment. You can take a deep breath. You can simply say, I am, and you have a blank slate. I am. I simply am. I am pure awareness right now. Now, what is the story that I want to tell? You don't have to tell the new story based on the old story either. We think that there's a logical path from the old story to the new story. No, there's no logical path. You are the one who creates the path by continuously thinking of your past. So you continuously make it real in this present moment. You can drop it, be in this moment, and tell a brand new story. Maybe it requires a little bit of discipline. Sure. But in this moment right now, guess what? You are perfect. You are whole. You are complete. You are love. You are the divine. You are all that there is. You are pure awareness, and your reality is all of these things as well. Create from this new moment. Don't bring your past into this new moment to create a muddy future. This moment is brand new for you. Tell that new story. How often do you allow yourself to be in the present moment? How often do you feel God flowing through your body? Your heartbeat. Who's doing that? Who's making your heart beat right now? The moments where you're not thinking about breathing. Who's helping you breathe right now? When you can just feel your aura around you. You can feel that energy just going through your cells. What is that? So look out at the sky with no thoughts. Don't define it by thoughts. Just look. Just observe. Everything is fine right now. Everything is perfect right now. Perfect right now. And so it is. When you begin to live life in that perfect present moment, perfection begins to continuously unfold from within you. But so often we are tied to the past, tied to the future, right? We're either tied to the past and then we get into the manifesting space and we're constantly tied to the future. But you don't live in either one of those places. You live right now. You live right now. All right? Question number 3. What happens when I stop trying to find myself in form? Right? Even in manifestation space, right? What do they say? Okay, well, to get love, you have to be love. People, oh yeah, to be love, I have to go on vacation. Take a little bikini pic in the water. Right? You got to get a massage. Right? I got to do all of these things to be what I already inherently am. To be what I already inherently am, I have to do these things to be that. To think that you have to go into the external world to do something, to receive something, would be making a statement that out there is the reality. When your consciousness, your awareness is reality. To receive anything out there, you simply have to remind yourself of the truth. I already am everything right now. Right now, I already am everything. Okay? So in closing, you are not here to become more of a person. You are here to remember that you were never just a person anyway. You are not here to become a more fuller human, a more perfect person. You are here to remember you were never just a person anyway. You've always been infinitely more than that. Pull yourself out that illusion, right? Stop identifying with these temporary things. You are pure awareness, pure love, pure prosperity. You are infinite intelligence wrapped up in flesh. You are the awareness watching the dance of form and forgetting. You are the silent light that outlives every identity. You are the holy, formless, perfect I am, hidden behind the illusion of separation, waiting patiently to be remembered. That's what you really are. Say that one more time. That's what you really are. You are the holy, formless, divine, infinite I am, hidden behind the illusion of separation, waiting patiently to be remembered. Waiting patiently to be remembered. You are not a drop trying to find the ocean. You are the ocean dreaming that you are a drop. You are not a fragment of God trying to reach wholeness. You are the wholeness of the divine, dreaming that it is simply a fragment. Right? Awaken to who you truly are. You are the living gospel. You are the timeless word made flesh. When we say getting your word, we're not talking about a book. You are the word. You are the gospel. You are all that there is. All right? So here are the affirmations. We're going to get right to them. Keep flowing with them. All right? Number 1, I return to the stillness where all searching ceases. For here in the silence, I remember I am already what I've been seeking. In this now moment, when you dissolve into this now moment, enjoy this now moment. Enjoy this now moment. I return to the stillness where all searching ceases. You are, right? My bad. I return to the stillness where all searching ceases. For here in the silence, I remember I am already what I've been seeking. No problem, Miss Kelsey. Number 2, With every breath, I rise beyond the illusions of lack and step boldly into the sacred truth. I am the fulfillment and not the yearning. I'm sure some of y'all know that you have to double back on these affirmations. We did these 2 days ago. But these are powerful, right? And they hit home a little bit differently after we talk about awareness. After we talk about you simply are your stories. Reality simply is your stories. People talk about embodiment, reprogramming the subconscious, nervous system regulation. You are more than all of these things. You are more than all of these things, right? Yeah, I write them. I no longer beg the world for what God has already placed within me. I am the miracle in motion, the prayer answered in flesh. Right? I no longer beg the world for what God has already placed within me. I am the miracle in motion, the prayer answered in flesh. Beautiful. So I did explain this a while back, maybe a while back, right? How I actually build out these lectures, right? Is I actually just do a brain dump. Every once in a while, I just type, right? Whether it's in my notes section or it's just on Google Docs, right? I just type. And I take that and then I'll start segmenting it off. And I just use ChatGPT to help me organize it. And then I rewrite it, right? So it's like I'm talking to myself. You write it out, you organize it, you put it in that thing, it organizes it again, and then you reorganize it. Boom. So it really just sinks back. Right? Basically. When I wake up, like I do my, so I go work out, I do my meditation, and then before I get in the market, typically I'll sit at the computer like by about 6 o'clock, 6:15, I'm at the computer. And from like 6:15 to about 7:30, I just write. That's what I like to do. I've always wrote. Next up. My soul is the throne of divine remembrance. Even in my silence, I am the I am presence that manifests all things. I am familiar of it. My soul is the throne of divine remembrance, even in my silence. I am the I am presence that manifests all things. Cool. 4 more. I speak and heaven listens because I am aligned with the very voice of creation. Absolutely. Let's break that down in a second. I release striving and become still. For in stillness I touch the eternal and I am made whole. I release striving and become still. For in stillness I touch the eternal and I am made whole. In this present moment, I am made whole. I am all that there is right now. Every step I take is guided by the I am within. Unchanging, undisturbed, unlimited, I walk as prophecy fulfilled. Yeah. And last but certainly not least, I declare not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. I and my source are one, and nothing shall be withheld from me. Beautiful. And of course, like always, I'll always upload these to YouTube, so you can always go on YouTube. You can always get them. You can always get these docs. They're for you. Outlines are for you. The affirmations are for you. All right? So yeah, that was it. We talked about awareness. I know earlier today I had to jump off because I thought it was an emergency. It wasn't. My sister sent me like a frantic text. I was like, oh shit, let me call her back. And then she just immediately started FaceTiming, but I had already told you I was gonna hit you. I was gonna get off. And she just answered the phone like, hey. like, what's up? Something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. Or just call it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's cool with me. That's cool with me. But shoot, so even that was an interesting question about the new earth, right? Like even that new earth theory. And there's some, right? There's a couple. But like let's say that earth is going to split in two, right? That would be making the assumption that there's only one reality. That'd be making the assumption that we're all just living in the one reality. Which I don't buy. Like we're not living in one reality. Everybody is in their own reality. Like the people that walk towards me, right? The people that I interact with, there's infinite versions of them just like there's infinite versions of me. So after our first interaction, based on my expectations, I call forward different versions of everybody anyway. They call forth a different version of me. So I could be dealing with a woman, she's dealing with another version of me or not dealing with me at all. But in my reality, this is what plays out. Right? So 8 billion people in the world, there's 8 billion different realities. We are all in infinite realities. So a concept like New Earth would make it seem like there is only one reality. And one day there will be a split where a whole bunch of people who are thinking a certain way will just go to another reality. You change realities in every moment, in every single moment. Now, another thing to actually think about within this concept is the idea of the collective consciousness, right? Because while you are creating your own reality, there still is a collective consciousness. This is why reality is the way it is. Like, so as a whole, we are still creating reality together. Governments are a certain way, right? The quote unquote American dream exists because we as a society have bought into it. However, you still have the choice on whether you want to allow it to impact you or not. For instance, even though things might quote unquote start looking like they're external, right? The politics, all these things, they look like they're external things. But once I internalize them, I get to make the decision on if they impact me or not. There are certain people, when you talk to them about politics, they'll get stressed out. Damn near have a heart attack. There are some people, if you talk about, a politician or the president right now, they'll damn near get on their knees right now in happiness. They'll damn near go crazy. Oh my goodness, they'll do a backflip, right? But you make the final decision on what impacts you. Let's put it in another context. Who makes the decision on how the zodiac sign impacts you? Who has final say-so? You can read all you want about it, but you have the final say-so on if you're going to buy into it or not. All right, now let's look at it on a different level. Let's say that you say, no, zodiacs are real. Even when somebody doesn't believe in them, I can tell you exactly how they're going to act. Exactly, you can. You can, because it's your reality. It's your reality, of course. You can tell exactly how they're going to react because your expectations make your reality. But in their reality, they don't assume that shit. And so they don't live by it. But you pull a version of them forward that aligns to that. Right? So it's always about you. There are infinite realities. You're always jumping moment by moment, right? Yeah. Right, like the all those retrogrades, like I'm a manifest in the portal. I'm a manifest in this big lion portal, right? All of a sudden, all my dreams are gonna come true. I mean, if you believe in it enough to where wealth does flow to you, hey, do what you do. Do what you do. If you believe in it enough to where it lines up your pockets, cool. But if you just believe in that shit and it's not doing anything for you, and it's just creating a whole bunch of stress, you might need to rethink. You might need to rethink. Well, what about how there is scientific evidence that on full moons there is more crime? Sure, of course. There's scientific evidence about a lot of things. There's there's scientific evidence that right now, as a man, if I don't release enough, I'm gonna get prostate cancer. Do we think that is really true? Perhaps not, right? All those things. Yeah, sure, we're water. We get impacted by a lot of things, right? Water is consciousness. You're X amount % water. Things are impacted by it. Sure. But who makes the final say so on if those things impact your life? We can say the same thing about politics, right? Yes, politics are here in our collective reality. Yes, science is here in our collective reality. But if the president comes on the TV and he starts talking something that I don't agree with, who makes the decision on if it bothers me or not? On if in my reality I see it or not? Who makes the decision on, do I have to be safer? Do I have to act a certain way differently during the full moons so I don't get robbed or whatever? Who makes that decision to fear that? Who makes that decision to accept that as the truth in their reality? That's us. We make the final decision, right? So there's always these things that are out there, and these things are always trying to hijack your mind. They're always trying to pull your mind down this path, right? Always trying to pull your mind down this path. Hey, think this way. Do this way, right? Have you gotten your prostate checked, right? Have you done this? If you take this medicine, these are all the side effects, right? Fear, fear is a terrible teacher. It's a great master, but it's a terrible teacher. When people try to influence you with fear, you should always take a step back and be a little cautious. Why are you talking to me like that? Don't vote for them because then all of your rights will go away. Don't vote for them because then all of your money will go away, right? When people start using fear to coerce you, it's typically a sign it's time to open your ears and hear what they're talking about. What are you talking about? What you mean? I'm gonna lose everything? Let's see here. Yeah. Fear is something we create reasons to fear, then fear those reasons. Yup. So it's been a good discussion, y'all. What else y'all want to talk about? That's an interesting counter argument that is there to keep us alive. I think from an evolutionary perspective, sure, we could say that, right? Like from an evolutionary perspective, for sure, we can say that. But right now, we're not getting chased by gazelle or chased by lions, bears, or whatever. So in what ways do fear help us now? Well, we can make some arguments, right? But what about in the terms of the person who's in the job and they know they want to get a new job, but they're a little nervous or they're fearful about learning a new skill, right? So I would say emotions are real indicators of our expectations. They're real indicators of our expectations. Of past stories that we've told, but they're always giving us information, right? It's your emotional guidance system. What do I have to believe to be true to fear right now, to feel this right now? So, okay, let's say I fear learning this new skill, but I really want this new job. Okay, what is my fear? Do I fear that I'm not smart enough? Do I fear like it'll be too difficult? What are these things, right? So all of your emotions are just tools. Right? When you feel anxiety because all of a sudden you want to start creating content, you're like, shit. I mean, I'm scared of people judging me, all these things, right? So fear does have, so I agree. Fear does have its place, right? It's a teacher. It's something to transcend. It's something to look at, to view. It just can't be our master, right? Fear makes it terrible. Well, shit, I guess I have to take that back. All right? Fear makes a perfect teacher when it's within you and you handle it correctly. But when it's outside people trying to change you based on fear, that's when it's a problem. All right, let me correct my words. I appreciate y'all. Let me correct my words. I appreciate y'all. Right. any kind of emotion, right? These are the cast out emotions within us. When we talk about the fall and Satan being cast out of heaven, what are we actually talking about? Right? What are we actually talking about? Because logically, do we really think that was possible? That logically, there was some big bad angel and decided, I'm gonna go to war against all that there is, and it's a child story, right? It'd be like somebody coming up to you at your job and being like, "Hey, let's quit," and 30% of people quit the job, right? It's hard to believe. It is hard to believe. But what this actually refers to is a perception, a fall into duality. There's no positive and there's no good and bad. There's simply human judgment of it. There's a human perception, right, of morality based on where you grow up, how you've been brought up, things you've experienced, etc., right? So this fall simply represents your falling into duality, the same as the eating of the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. Knowledge of good and evil. There's no evil. There's simply all that there is. And you get to make a choice to experience certain things, and then we perceive it as right or wrong, good or bad, etc., right? So when we cast out certain emotions like fear, anxiety, jealousy, we just cast them out. We don't want to identify with them, but they still are a part of you, right? And so instead of casting them out, the actual root word for daemon, actually means spirit guide. It's a nuanced way of saying spirit guide. It's calling you back within yourself. Calling you back within yourself, right? So, okay, let's say I have anxiety about something. What do I have to believe to be true to feel this way right now? It's calling me to understand myself more. But when we get on this path and we're just like, oh, my emotion's a bad emotion or a negative emotion, I just have to ignore it and I gotta feel happy to get what I want. Well, then you miss the mark because you deny yourself really the opportunity to start changing your expectations. Right? It's polarity, right? Good, bad, right, and wrong. All these things are simply judgments of a human ego mind, right? Like anxiety, excitement. What's the difference? Maybe anxiety is just a little bit more ungrounded. Who knows, right? But you can ground that emotion right now with the story that you tell, right? But all of these things are teachers. They're teachers. Okay, they're not masters. They're not your masters, but they are teachers. They are teachers. They're like a fire alarm, right? The emotion is the fire alarm, but it's not the fire. The emotion is the fire alarm, but do not confuse the emotion with the actual fire, or the alarm with the actual fire. It's simply telling you to be alert, right? Time to do some studying on yourself. See what's going on. Something is up right now. And then perfect. How can you have the man that you want if reality shows you otherwise? Well, reality is just your awareness. It's just your awareness, right? So how to remove the fear? Removing the fear, that's going to be a specific journey for you. But I will tell you this. It's not your emotions or your feelings that create reality, right? It's the stories that you're telling. Or people like to say that, they like to call that embodiment, right? But embodiment is basically the story that you're telling. Me walking around thinking these women ain't shit is a different embodiment of me walking around thinking these women can't get enough of your boy, right? Two completely different embodiments. So this is what embodiment is. You have to embody the right story. So the best way to create whatever, in my perspective, is to go to the end of the story. Do you know exactly what you want? If I told you to name 10 things that you actually want from that relationship, could you do it? Or could you simply name 10 things that you don't like about them? Is your mind full of the end of what you actually want to achieve? Or is your mind full of what you don't? Well, reality shows me this. Your awareness is reality. Your awareness is reality. Right? So are you dwelling in the beautiful? Are you dwelling in the end? Are you enjoying the end of the story? Or are you simply telling the story of reality is not showing you, right? So go to the end. You have them. All right, make that simple statement. I have them. Now, from where you are today to where you are when y'all are together in this physical reality, things have to change. So every single change that you see is evidence that everything is working out for you, because it has to change to get there, right? So whether it looks good or bad, it doesn't matter. You were even told in scripture, judge not by appearance, but judge righteously. Judge not by appearance, but judge righteously, because you can't possibly judge the situation correctly. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what's going on. You only know 0.001% of reality that you can see. The rest of it is energy, empty space. So your only job is to tell a story that no matter what you see, everything is working out. You go to the end and you stay there. I am in Barbados. That is the end. How can you tell me how you're going to get that person? How can you tell me how you're going to get to Barbados? How can you tell me how you are going to get that person if you already have them? So now everything is unfolding for you. You go to that knowing and you stay there. It takes conviction, discipline, awareness, love, all of those things. Dwell in the lovely, right? The end is the truth. Tell him, Jordan. The end is the truth. Everything is working out for me no matter what. I am that I am no matter what. No matter what. No matter what. See, I didn't answer that question on purpose the first time. You copied and pasted it. You have to ask that. You answer that question. Answer that question. It's your story. It's your awareness. So answer that question. So everything that's happening is leading us to being there, or is leading us to being together. Answer that question. It's your story. I can't answer it for you. You have to say it. You have to say yes, no matter what it looks like, no matter what I see, no matter what I feel. Everything is working out for me no matter what. And now that is your story. So it's over. So you're not allowed to talk about how it's not working out at all anymore. You already are in the end. Don't react to the middle like it's the end. Don't care what it looks like. You simply are, right? You are simply going through reality and allowing it to unfold, right? How to appease thoughts of time and the alleged time crunch when choosing your desired state. So when we think of time crunch, I think of it two ways, right? So the first way is when we think of like a deadline. I always say this. So remember, a deadline implies you don't have it. So even right now, your consciousness, right? If you put your awareness on a deadline, it implies that you don't have that shit. Because the deadline magically vanishes when you have it, right? There is no deadline anymore when I have it. So place your consciousness on having it. Whenever you think about the deadline, remind yourself, I already have it. I already have it. All right? Should I tell people I don't like talking to, that I don't want them to contact me? When I talk to them, I get drained. All they talk about is their problems and of other people. Whoa, they talk and it's not a conversation. I feel like they just waste my time. Look, okay. If you feel like you are being a lesser version of yourself by being around them, then absolutely set your boundaries. Don't be around them. Right? If you feel like it pulls you out of who you want to be, or you feel like there's no way to possibly move forward, cool. Do that. Put yourself first, right? I got to put me first. Do that. However, the tape, perfect. However, also remember this from a metaphysical perspective. Because you have such a strong story with what you told right there, because that was such a strong conviction that you had when you said like, hey, how do I do this? And you listed it out. That means you have a strong story and your story is creating reality. So if your expectations of these people, if you want to change, right? If you want to choose different versions of those people, then you have to choose a different story to tell about them. So a different version of them can step forward. But if you don't want to go down that route, then absolutely put yourself first. Put yourself first. If you want to tell them, tell them. Do you have that underlying knowing that people always respect my opinion? And I'm able to clearly articulate, how I feel, and people will accept that and will be able to move forward constructively. If you have that dominant belief, go ahead. If you feel like they're going to act a certain way, well, then they will. So Work on your expectations of that situation. I would say that first and foremost, right? Work on your expectations of what's going to happen in that conversation. I didn't even read that second part, but I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. Why does this person keep coming back to my energy? Is it trying to teach me that I need to express myself and if you already know that, then that's what it is. You answer the question, which is perfect, right? Remember, when we start answering or asking ourselves questions, the answer is always within the question. The answer is always within the question. Even when we talk about it from a reality creation perspective, what if I'm not affirming correctly? If you already have it, what are you talking about affirming correctly, right? What are you talking about visualizing correctly? You already have it, right? Well, what do I do if the situation looks unfavorable? Who cares? You already have it. It's just playing out. It's just unfolding for you. I don't care what you do, what you think about it, right? So yeah, you already know. You already know. So what would the lesson be, right? Have you struggled to express yourself in the past? Have you struggled to place boundaries before? Do you do it in a way that is maybe rude? And maybe you need to be more personable with it. I don't know. That lesson will be very specific to you. But shit, that's beautiful that you already are able to ask that question of, is it this? That's typically telling you what it is. Y'all ain't here arguing, bro. Y'all funny as hell. How long does the unfolding take? Oh my goodness. Miss Jessica, come on now. What do you mean, how long does the unfolding take? It's done right now. It is done right now. You already have it. How can you ask me how long it takes if you already have it? What about when anxiety comes and messes with your perspective and focus on the I am? Well, forgive yourself. Waiting for 1 year. See, stop telling that story. You have him right now. Remember, when you tell your story right now, you are telling the truth. You are the one that's saying, oh, I've been waiting for this long. You already have him. Drop the I've been waiting. That I've been waiting, right? That I've been waiting part is simply, I'm just playing with you. I know you're not arguing. That I've been waiting part is simply you declaring what you're doing right now. So now you're just continuously creating a reality where you're waiting. Go about your life, do fun things, date other people if you need to, right? Do whatever you got to do, but simply keep your awareness. I already have them. It's already done. It's just unfolding. You already have them. Decide. Make the decision. Was a people pleaser up to April. Told the person, said I'm a hypocrite Christian and I'm a clown. So this told me, hey, yeah, you're making the right decision, right? Stand firm in your faith, man. Stand firm in your faith. And what you believe to be true, that's what it is. That's cool. But also, that's the interesting thing, right? Is that when we get to the name calling, it's like, you know, where's the growth in that, right? So I would say do what you feel is best, man. Do what you feel is best. But it seems like you already have a good grasp on the situation and what to do. You already have a very good grasp on it and what to do. I'll say just keep pressing forward, man. We'll constantly run into these moments in life that are telling us what we already know about ourselves. Right? It's telling us to, hey, maybe you should put more boundaries up. Maybe you should do this. It's just telling us, or maybe you should work on your expectations. Maybe you should do that. So, trust your intuition. Trust that internal guidance system. It's always telling you which direction to run. When you say I am, right, it is a promise. That is a promise from God to you. That is a promise from God. Whatsoever you ask the Father in my name will be given to you. Not might, will, right? This is a promise. This is a holy covenant. This is the promised land between you and the divine. Act as such. Act as such. One way, right, that we start saying things, we'll say, it is your conviction, it's your word that actually bends reality. Okay, cool. It's your word that bends reality. Then we'll go a little further. We'll say, it is your word that shapes the universe. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's go a little bit further. It is your word that orders the divine, that orders God. Interesting. These are all saying the same thing. Reality is all that there is. You are all that there is. You are the expression of the divine. You are the identity of the divine. And because you are the identity, you are the one commanding with your awareness. No, you don't have to gaslight yourself that it already happened. Gaslighting is an interesting word. Why do we call it gaslighting if it's something that you want? You simply have to know that it's already promised to you. You already have it in spirit. You already have it. You're already experiencing it right now. It's not like a feeling that you have to conjure up. You simply have to make the decree. Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. To decree means to speak as a legal authority. Thou shalt choose, command, declare, demand. This is done. I have it. And whenever your mind says something else, something different, you remind yourself, no, that's not how it is. I already have it. It's done. It's unfolding right now perfectly for me. Perfectly. You got to get that spiritual backbone. Right? Got to have that backbone with it. It is mine. It is mine. I wonder. But am I hurting the other girl that he's with if oh my gosh. If y'all are together, how can there be another girl, Jessica? You want to talk about this? You can request up if you want to talk about this. You can request up if you want to talk about it. It might be better to talk about it. But no, you're not. Does saying it's unfolding indicate a process or waiting for? No. Unfolding is just the aspect of time. Right? Unfolding is just time unfolding through you. You are the unfolding. Every step that you take, every moment that you breathe, everything is unfolding for you, right? You are linear time. So it's not implying that you don't have it at all. You already have it in spirit. You simply need to walk down the path from moment to moment to actualize it in this reality. But it's already done, right? It's already done. It's already a promise. Right? When I say I already have it, it's already promised to me. I have it in spirit. I can go within consciousness right now, and I can grant it to myself. I can have it. I can hold it. Right? I can hold it. So, yeah, for sure. It does not mean that you're throwing it off, right? And then also, if you feel that way, remind yourself that, no, I already have it in spirit. I'm simply walking moment to moment to receive it, and it will show up in any moment. It will show up in any moment. Wow. But also remember, let me say that with a caveat, though. Let me say that with a caveat. I'm glad you understand. I'm glad. But let me say it like this. If you feel like that adds resistance, then let's work on an actual story that does not feel like it's resistance at all. If you feel like there's an implication that there's time that you don't have it, but when I speak purely from a fourth and fifth dimensional perspective. I have it. It's done. If I can imagine it, I have it. I have it, right? So, I got you. That's cool. That's cool, Jessica. That's cool. I was just giving you an opportunity to have a little one-on-one session, man. But remember, there are infinite realities. Every person is in a different reality. Just because your expectations, what you declare, it's going to pull forth the version of that person whose free will is in alignment with yours. That person that they're with, that your person is with, would not even exist without your consciousness, without your awareness. You are in your reality. They are in their reality. But the moment so for instance, the moment that, let's say that you and somebody walk up into each other on the street, right? Y'all meet each other today. Say, hey, my name's Jessica. He says, hey, my name's whatever, Jim. Let's make him Jim. He's a Jim. You walk up to Jim and you're like, hey, how you doing? Good. All right. Now, there are infinite versions of you. Infinite means beyond count. So as you're speaking, infinite versions of you are scrolling through. You might feel a little bit more upbeat. You might have an expectation that this guy's kind of weird and a new version of you pops up. You might have an expectation of all of these things, right? And so you're constantly changing who you are throughout the conversation. But also, because of your expectations of him, you're changing the version of him that's showing up in front of you. Every moment we meet a new person, all right? So by the time y'all walk away, you're not actually walking away from the same version you walked up to. You're changing in every moment. All right. So why does this matter? Why does this matter? Why does this matter, Alex? It matters because you're never impeding on anyone else's free will. You're simply going to the version of you, to the perspective of you, all right, that is in alignment with the version of that person that you want. And what is changing perspective? It's simply changing my story. What is getting in alignment? It's simply changing my story. And so as I change moment to moment, everything around me changes. You are the center of the universe, right? You are the sun. Everything around you is just a planet. It's not even big enough to be a planet. It's just a speck. Everything around you is a dust particle rotating around you, who are the sun. They wouldn't even exist without your awareness. So based on the story that you tell, okay, I'm with him, we're in the end, right? If you are in the end, well, if you have him, that person can't exist. So naturally, something's going to happen. They're going to fall off. That's it. What if we feel like we are waiting for someone to forgive us in order to have it? Like in a no contact type situation. Remember, that is just the story that you're telling. Okay, let me ask you this question. It's the question that I asked at the beginning of the earlier stream. I would say, and there's a big time delay on YouTube, so I'm gonna have to pause for a second. I'm gonna get right to the answer. How would you define yourself without thinking about your past? If you did not know your past, if you had no story that you could fall back on, how would you define yourself? How would you define yourself? All right, here's the answer. You're just awareness. You are simply awareness, and reality is just a story that you're telling. And as you're telling the story, everything shows up. Oftentimes we forget that we're just awareness and we start trying to tell stories based on the past, thinking the past is solid. Thinking that we're going to a definite future when we're not. We're not. All right? We are always telling stories. If I say define yourself, you're simply going to tell me a bunch of stories. If I tell you to define somebody else, right? Now I want you to really think about it, because this is when it gets deeper. When I tell you to define somebody else, you never know what they think for real. You've never know what they've been through for real. Matter of fact, when they leave out of your presence, you don't know what they're doing for real. They leave your reality. When they're not in your awareness, they leave your reality. What is the saying? If a tree falls in the middle of nowhere, right? Tree falls in the middle of a forest, doesn't make a sound, or if nobody's there to witness it, doesn't make a sound. No, of course not, because there has to be consciousness for it to even exist. Your consciousness is your reality. When I tell you to define somebody, you don't define who they really are. You don't know who they really are. No one will ever even know you as much as you know yourself. You don't know them. You simply know a story about them that you've been telling. So right now, the story that you are telling is what? I'm waiting for someone to forgive me. We are in no contact. That's the story that you're telling. Therefore, that is your reality. Tell a better story. What would you prefer that story to be? I'm forgiven. We talk all the time. Right? Whatever the case may be, go to the end. Go to the end of what you want and put your awareness there. Right? Your awareness no longer is on things that are, like, the past doesn't exist. The past is just a thought. The future is just a thought. That's it. But right now, you are building all of your reality based on what? Based on your awareness. Where you place your awareness. That's how you're building your reality. You're building your reality all the time in every moment just by telling stories. And we think that we have to tell our new story of our future based on the past. We believe we have to drag the past into the present, right? Okay, this is the starting point, and this is where I want to get to. No, you don't. No, you don't. Everything changes right now because you change. The past doesn't exist. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. Time, you are time. You are the unfolding of linear time. So simply start telling that new story of what you want right now and allow everything to change to play its part. Remember, when we say things like, or Neville said this best, assume that you are the person you want to be and everybody will play their part, right? Every single person will play their part. This is the terminology or the all-seeing eye, right? What is the all-seeing eye? It's everything. It's all that there is. Always watching you, looking at your expectations, your beliefs, and then unfolding for you to say yes. That's it. People say there's a time delay. People say there's a time delay because time is actually unfolding through you. Right? How would you experience? All right. Let's think of the time delay like this. There's no time delay between the fulfillment and you. Right? Right now you are fulfilled. Right? You have a desire. You can be fulfilled in the knowing that it's promised to you right now. That is the fulfillment. You have it right now. It's promised to you. You have it, right? You ordered it off Amazon. You have it. You've already bought it. Okay, cool. Now, what is the actual time? Time is what? No, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, what is time? Whenever you make that decree, you plant that new part of you, or that new reality in the soul of your being. And what it does is it actually sprouts from within you. So it grows from within you, and now you walk through the unfolding of your desire. This is all the time, a quote unquote time delay is. Time delay is simply the unfolding of time. There is no time delay, right? You have it right now, but you walk through the unfolding of that in your third dimensional reality, okay? In your third dimensional reality. Oh shit, who requested? No. So free, not needing to reference the past. Yeah, the past can definitely be limiting to your possibilities, right? When I think that there's some real past, some solid past, and I'm trying to create right now based on that past, well, it's very limiting, but you are infinite. The past is simply a thought. You don't have to go through the past to get to your future. You are in the now moment right now. And everything, right? You have access to everything right now. So instead of trying to believe in your past or trying to believe that your past can change, simply go to what you want. Simply go to what you want. Okay? And no one's assumptions that you can make you act anyway. You're the only one who has true free will in your reality. Based on your expectations, other people are going to show up to you, right? Other people are going to show up to you. But based on your expectations, other people will show up to you with a version of them whose free will is in alignment with you. But no, You're not going to change to match anybody. In their reality, you will change. But there's infinite realities, right? Within you, in my Father's house are many mansions. So within you, there's infinite mansions. There's infinite versions of you. A mansion being a dimension. A dimension is a perspective. Within you, there are infinite realities, infinite perspectives, infinite versions of you. This makes the wholeness of who you are. Within everybody, there's infinite. So you can choose between infinite versions of every single person. So why do we believe that we have to go through the past to get to the future? Infinite. Right? Why do we believe we have to go to the past to get to the future? So in your reality, you are God. You are the awareness that animates everything. You are the awareness that animates everything. And then how do you align your frequency with the reality you desire? You simply tell the story of the reality that you desire. Right? You tell the story of the reality you desire. Right? Go to the end and stay there. What do you want? Okay, well, declare that you have it. And once you declare that you have it, walk through life knowing that everything is everything, right? Every single thing is proof that everything is working out for you, right? Everything. Oh, shit. There we go. All right. If we have high life force energy, is it easier to manifest? Shoot, if you say so, right? Everything comes down to your belief or your thoughts. If that's your expectation, that higher life force is gonna mean I manifest better, cool. But what is magnetism but an aspect of your consciousness anyway? How could you be less magnetic, less divine, right? Less perfect than what you already are? You already are all that there is. Seep into that knowing that no matter what, I am absolutely worthy to receive everything that I desire. Don't make it conditional. That God within you is unconditional. Source is unconditional. Oops. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, y'all. My bad. I ain't mean to hit that invite button. I'm trying to scroll. You don't just snap your fingers and it's there? What about the steps to make something like a song or a poem? You have to write it. Sure. Yeah, you do. You do have to write it. So why does saints manifest easily in Jesus too, but normal people couldn't? What do you mean by that? Who says normal people can't? What is a normal person? You are God. What does a normal person mean? You know that story of Jesus. The Bible is simply a reference book of consciousness, right? These aren't real characters running around. So when we say things like that, you're denying yourself your own divinity. That's the story that you tell. But the moment that you understand who you are, right, nothing is off limits. Nothing is off limits. Who says it has to be difficult or easy? Who says that you have to, be celibate for a year to manifest? Who said that? Who is the one who has that beliefs? It's us. It is us. We are the ones who have those beliefs. Remember, all your life is simply made up of your beliefs. Oh, yeah, you can join. Your life is simply made up of your beliefs. That's it. It's just your beliefs. What's up? How you doing?
I'm good, just preparing for sleep.
No problem.
Listening to you.
Gotcha. Is it late where you are?
Yeah, it's almost 12 a.m.
Oh,
I'm
dang.
in Ireland, so
Oh, nice.
tomorrow, and yeah, it's gonna be a full day of work.
Well, I wish you nothing but the best, man. Nothing but I won't keep you long. Let's get you helped out.
Thank you very much.
So what's on your mind? I know you were talking about your person, right?
Yeah, so I was saying that I was trying to manifest him for like more than a year, and I was trying with affirmation and visualizing and all of that, and trying to be in the end, to live in the end. But it's like a other girl and being happy and all of that.
Hold
Stuck
up, hold
somehow.
up, hold up, hold up,
But it's
hold up, hold up, hold
yeah.
up. You already arguing. You're already arguing for your limitations. That old story, right? You don't have to explain that old story to me to tell me what you want. You don't have to bring up the past to tell me what you want, right? What you want is what you want. Remember, the past is just a thought. Everything that you said are simply things that exist in your mind. You have the power to either continue telling that story or simply go to the end, right? So what I mean by that is this. Okay, what I mean by that is this. You're not changing him at all, okay? Right? So he will not change. That version of him will not change. What you have to do, or what you are simply doing, is you're just changing your perspective on the situation, and a completely new version of this person comes forward. So you're never changing anyone. The version of him that steps forward probably won't even remember all the things that you're talking about, because it'll be a completely new person.
And the old person still lives there, or how is it? I'm just trying to figure out how it's moving to old versions, new versions. Like,
How does it move? Oh, it moves. It's going to move in ways that we don't expect and we cannot predict, right? So our job is simply to say what we want and declare that we want this thing, okay?
yeah.
God's job, that source within you, your higher self, its job is to actually make it unfold for you. And how does it make it unfold? There are infinite ways where it can unfold. Infinite. There are infinite ways that it can unfold. You simply have to know that it is unfolding, right? I also want you to remember this. The affirmations and visualizations, they do not have power unless you know who you are. Do you actually believe that they work, or were you just doing them to try to get something?
I think they give me a good state. They help me get to feel much better. I think it helps somehow, but I don't see anything changing in my reality.
Yeah, I mean, even if nothing changes, everything is still changing, right? So, you know about, how long have you been on here? Just for today? You say the first day?
Here,
Yeah,
on the live.
yeah.
No, I've been here in a couple of nights before. I think I asked you a few questions before, and you answered me. Yeah,
Oh,
you always told me to to live in the end and to stick to the story that I already
okay,
believe it should happen.
okay,
So
okay,
yeah, it's my first time live here
okay.
with you.
No, I got you. Why I was asking this, so if you've been doing this for a year, this is what I really want you to do. I want you to make this story about you.
Yeah.
Who are you? Like, Jessica, who are you when you are in the state, or when you are telling the story that you can get whatever man that you want? How does that, what kind of story does that, Jessica, tell?
I think it gives me a little bit of anxiety and also excitement, both of them, because I'm not sure if I can get it or not. I didn't see any movement. So
Jessica, hold up. You keep talking about movement. What is movement? What is movement?
so movement would be like
No,
splitting
no, no, no,
legs
no, no,
and
no. Hold up, Jessica. hold up. Look, movement, like what you determine is movement is not movement. That is simply your perception. Okay, let me tell you a story. All right. So I was working with a client, and they wanted to get a date from a woman that they were dealing with. And they kept telling me the story, and they said, "Bruh, Alex, I've been in the end, but she is not noticing me." And I said, "What do you mean she's not noticing you? How do you know that?" And he was like, "She's not. She doesn't look at me." And I said, "That's just the story that you're telling. Instead, tell this story. She is noticing me, but I just never notice her noticing me. She's always noticing me, but I'm never noticing her noticing me." So instead of you telling the story that there is no movement, you're saying this like it's so definite. You don't know. You only see what you see. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes. You don't know what God is doing. You don't know what they're talking about. You don't know anything. You only know what your perception is. And you already have the perception because you came on here. You already have the perception, even though it was a year ago, that you're telling the same story. So instead of sitting in that story, make it about you. Everyone, right? Any moment that anyone, right, that I want to be with is with someone else, they're always thinking about me. Every single person that I want wants me more. But you can't tell that same story and just expect for you to affirm for a little bit and all of a sudden everything just shows up. Your story is against what you're affirming for. You can't say I have it and then say I see no movement. You have it and there's always movement, no matter if I see it or not, there's always movement. You got to step into your power. You have to step into your power, girl. Look at yourself as the center of your universe. Look at yourself as the woman that men would die for. You're the type of woman that men back in the days would have started wars over. And then when you start telling that story, your anxiety, your fear, your excitement do not matter. Your feelings don't matter. They're just feelings. You simply tell that story. I am this person no matter what. Your feelings don't manifest for you. Your story does. I think I said that clear. You got it?
I have to work on my self-concept. Basically, I have to be more confident with myself and to believe I can.
Yeah.
And I can manifest anything that I desire.
Not even
I
be.
think I have to work with me.
Not even be more confident, because that kind of implies feelings. Ignore your feelings. What story are you telling? Even if you do not feel confident, what you say is the truth. So I don't have to feel confident when I say that everything is unfolding for me. I can be on the verge of losing everything and not feel confident and say everything is working for me. And because I say it, it must be. So don't think about confidence. Don't think about feelings. Simply tell the story of what you want.
Okay. I saw a question in the chat from someone who said, how does the new version that's coming into her life not remember his past? Like, if he's coming, like a new version, he doesn't remember anything that happened between us, like the fact that he told me he doesn't want to be with me anymore.
Don't go back down that story. Stop it. Look, why he won't remember. And I see you're clinging to the past. You are clinging.
I try to stop reaching to the past, but it's like a shadow that's following me, and I try to.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not a shadow that's following you. It's a story that you continue to tell. If there's no shadow, you are the ultimate creator. You are the only one in your reality who can create anything.
I wanted to ask you about that. How am I the only one in my reality? Like, other people are just a reflection of me, are not real, or are they? I can't grasp. I can understand that concept that I'm the only thinker in my reality. Like, other people don't think for themselves. Like,
No.
just tell them what to think, or
Yes.
just.
Yes. They're yes. They're not thinking. There is only one mind. Okay? There is only one. We have this illusion that it's me and him, me and them. Yeah, y'all can request stuff if you want. We have this illusion that it's other people and me here. There's no other people. There's only one mind. There's one God. It's indivisible. It's all that there is, right? This is why when you affirm things, people speak them to you. There's one mind. It's not necessarily that your thoughts are transferring to anyone. It's simply that your thoughts are the thoughts of the divine in your reality. Right? So why it works that nobody else? Because everybody else lives in their own reality. The version of the person that you're with right now, they will fade away. This version of them fades away, and another one of their infinite versions steps forward whenever you begin to look at them the way that you want them to be. This is why God said, or Jesus said, God or Jesus, same thing. You, me, all of us, God, Jesus, same thing. All right, so this is why your I am awareness said, forgive others so your Father in heaven can forgive you. Whenever you start to see things as perfect, see people as perfect, whenever you start to tell the story of what you want, everybody can show up perfect in your life. If you continue to tell the old story, you don't give this person the energetic space to change. If you continue to say, yeah, I've been affirming buts and nothing's changing, and even though he told me that he doesn't want me, you're just creating more of that. You don't have to use your past to create the future. You simply have to create the future. When you start telling that story, remind yourself that is the old version of him. That is not him anymore. That's the old version of him. That is not him anymore. And so it must be. When you start doing that, so matter of fact, this is your job. This is what your job is going to be. You're going to go to the end. You're going to come up with one sentence of a story of how everything is. Okay? One sentence of a story. And anytime you think of the old story, you're going to say, that is not him anymore. That's not the version of him in my reality anymore.
Yeah.
That's it. And everything that whether it changes, whether it does not change, you tell yourself, because I am changing my story, everything is changing. And then you allow it to unfold.
Okay. So I just have to live in the end and no more focusing on the past.
Yeah, exactly.
The new story that's gonna unfold the way I want it to.
Exactly. When you find yourself thinking of the old story, remind yourself, man, I'm glad that's not him anymore. I'm glad I'm not there anymore. I'm glad that I'm not dealing with that version of him anymore. You remind yourself, forgive yourself for thinking of that old version of him, and remind yourself of who you really are and what he really is, who he really is now.
And can I ask another question?
Absolutely.
That third party is just there because it's my awareness of it. Like the other God exists just because I acknowledge her to exist. So if I just take my awareness from her, she will disappear.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly. Something natural will happen. She'll be like, oh, well, we didn't want to be together anymore. Or you'll find something weird. It'll be like, oh, yeah, we found out we were cousins or something. Something will happen that will split that up. Naturally. Because it must be. The only reason it is even there is because your awareness is on it. Simply tell the new story. Forgive yourself, right? When you go back to that, when you see that, simply remind yourself, that's not there anymore. There's no other person anymore. Every moment that he spends with somebody else reminds him of me. I need you to step into your power. I need you to really look at yourself in the mirror and just talk your shit. I need you to just yeah, but do it all day. All day. All day.
So the fact that he has a new girl is me manifesting that?
Yes.
It was just my perception of it.
Yep.
Like why would I do that to myself?
I don't know. Why do you keep telling the same story? Right? It's sometimes like we say that, like, why would I do that to myself? Well, why are you still telling the same story? The story is reality.
Yeah.
The story is your reality. Remember, God, all right? God is closer to you than you are to yourself. The moment that you stop trying and you simply decide how reality is going to be, you simply put your foot down, and anytime you catch yourself thinking of something differently, you remind yourself the truth. The moment that you start telling the right story, instead of saying he did this and he did that, you start saying how it is now. Stop bringing the past into the present, and you start telling the story of now. Exactly. Your ability to fixate on him is a testament to your ability to focus. Just your ability to have this strong mind is a manifestation of your power. Lock on to that new story and refuse to tell anything differently.
Yeah, the thing is I'm focusing on the wrong thing sometimes, and that's why I manifest all the bad shit that's happened.
Exactly.
Focus on a new story.
And remember, it's not even about just switching focus. Sometimes the best thing that you can start doing also is, as you're transitioning, forgive yourself. Remind yourself if you tell the wrong story, forgive yourself. Say, okay, look, that's not who I am anymore. That's not who he is anymore. Right now, I am this new person. You forgive yourself and know that whatever story I tell right now changes the past and the future.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part, to forgive myself for doing the wrong thing, for telling myself the story that I lost him because of my mistakes.
It's
and
okay.
then to let go of the story of the past
Remember.
I'm having a hard time to just forgive.
But remember,
I did.
Jessica, forgiveness is just a word. I forgive you. That's forgiveness. Forgiveness is simply a word. It's simply you saying it. You're the one that's telling the story that you're not forgiving yourself. Tell the right story, right? You already have forgiven yourself. You're not having a hard time. You're just continuously forgiving yourself. Even Jesus said, right? When he was asked, how many times do I have to forgive my neighbor? Well, we know that you play all the roles in Bible. So there is no out there. There is no neighbor. So the real question is, how often do I have to forgive myself? Jesus said infinity. It translates to infinity in the Hebrew. He said infinity. So there's no set number. There's no hard time of forgiving yourself. You simply forgive yourself right now by saying it, because right now is the only time that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, you got this.
Time that exists is now.
Exactly.
What we have is now.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what you've been saying for the last few minutes. It doesn't matter what you're going to say in the future. It only matters right now. You are powerful beyond your knowing. The moment that you begin to really be serious about your consciousness, I tell the story of what I want. I forgive myself for telling the wrong story, and I do that over and over and over again as many times as it takes, and I enjoy life and I watch everything unfold. You will see everything works out beautifully for you. You deserve everything that you want.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was powerful.
Good.
Yeah.
I can't wait
So,
to hear your success story.
hope it will work out. Yeah.
No. See, now we got to start over. What you mean, hope?
Things are always working out for my high.
Oh, here we go. That you just remind me of something. I want everybody to hear this. Your I am statement. I am. The I amness within you is beyond belief. I am does not rely on belief or faith. Faith is a human construct. We simply call it faith because we don't want our ego to tell a wrong story. But your I am awareness is beyond faith. It's untouched by feelings. It's untouched by circumstances. What you say is what it is. Your being doesn't need your feelings. It doesn't need your faith. It doesn't need your love. It doesn't need your gratitude. Your awareness does not need you. It simply needs you to decide what you want. It does need you. I lied. But it simply needs you to decide what you want. Right? So it's not about feeling like, oh yeah, I know this is going to happen. It's about saying, I know this is going to happen no matter what I feel. I know this is happening. This is my reality now. Right? Cool.
So I have to know instead of believe.
No, you don't have to know. You simply have to say you know. Saying you know is stronger than know. Like knowing is, what is knowing, right? Knowing is something that everybody can define to me what they believe knowing is differently than another person. To know is to say. Like when Jesus said, I am the truth, it means whatever you say is the truth. I am prosperity. It's working out. All this shit is working out. These men can't get enough of you. That is the truth. Why? Because I say it. That's it. It's not about feeling. It's not about faith. It's not about belief. All those are human things. Those are human things. I am is beyond that.
Just decide and know.
There we perfect.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate your advice.
Absolutely. You have a good one. And have a good day at work.
Question, just to see if I figure it out.
Yeah.
I just want to be sure how to, in your opinion, how to really let go of the past and just forgive yourself. Like just let go. Or like never
Well-
happen. Like how to release the past and just forgive yourself for everything that you thought you should do and you didn't do it the way you think it should have happened.
Well, I mean, what it's about is simply about, in this moment right now, telling yourself you forgive you, and then coming back into this present moment. There's nothing to fix in the past because the past doesn't exist anymore. You're only right now, right? You can only live life right now. So instead of beating yourself up and thinking about how you have to forgive and what does it look like, simply make the decision right now to forgive yourself. And if you catch yourself going down that path again, make that decision again. Tell yourself that you love you, right? Just say it. Say, I forgive you. I forgive myself. Whether I feel it or not, say, I forgive myself. I forgive you. Right? And then move on. Get into that present moment and then give yourself the grace to feel what you feel. When you feel upset, when you feel frustrated, give yourself the ability to feel those things. But remember, remind yourself that just because I feel these things does not mean I am them. Just because I feel doubt does not mean I am doubt. It's just a feeling. I still am in perfect alignment. I am still perfect no matter what. No matter what.
Yeah, I was asking you that because I have some moments when I just go back into in my memories and I just condemn myself somehow, and I have visions of the past and telling myself I could have done better, I should have done better, and that things would have been much better than now. So that's why I'm having a hard time sometimes to just let go and forgive and to believe it was the right thing to do, and things can change from now on. I can take better decisions or just decide it's better for myself.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's talk about past versions of ourselves, right? We start to say things like, how do we say things? We'll say, I should have done this. I wish I would have done this. All right? We'll say things like that. But remember, even when Neville said that, Neville later on says, when I speak of feelings, I'm not speaking of emotions. I'm not speaking of emotion. I'm simply speaking on the meaning or knowing that it's going to come. My bad. I had to answer that comment. Let's get back to what I was saying. All right. When we talk about old versions of ourselves, we'll say things like, man, I wish I would have done this. I should have done this. But remember, you did what you thought was best in that moment with the information that you had. You don't know what you would have done differently. That version of you is a completely different person than you are now. So it makes no sense to go back and bash them. It makes no sense to, hope they would do something better. They did the best that they can. Bless them. Love them. If you were not here, you wouldn't have this powerful opportunity to walk forward and actually create the life that you want. You don't know what things would have changed if you had made a different decision. But right now, you are in this moment. And in this moment, you have everything in front of you. You have everything in front of you. The same way that you don't know what you would do differently, let's bring this full circle. That's the same way that these people that you want, these people that y'all want, these SPs, you don't even know how they are anymore. You're still telling the story of how they were a year ago. Why not tell a new story right now that's in alignment with what you want? This is where your power. You don't have power in the past. Unless you want more of it, you only have power right now. Instead of wishing and hoping that you would do something different, instead of trying to have faith, simply go to the knowing deep down that I have done everything perfect. And everything must continue to unfold perfect. Right now, I am in my absolute power. From this moment, I can create whatever I want. From this moment, I can forgive whoever I want. All right? Don't make it about a feeling. Just make it about returning to that same story over and over again.
Okay, so I just have to decide and stick to the new story.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
One point. All right, that was really powerful. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna go to sleep now because I have to wake up at 7.
Absolutely. You have a beautiful night. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Wish you the same and good luck in everything.
Thank you. Later.
Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.
A great day actually. This is the day. Bye.
Later. Bye. All right. Yeah. That was powerful. Sometimes I like when y'all come up because I can say things from my perspective, but once we actually start talking about specific perspectives, it can help a lot of people out, right? Because now we start digging into the weeds and we start, you know, really going down the different paths. So I appreciate y'all. If y'all want to join, y'all can. Ain't got nothing else to talk about today. I'm cool. I'm chilling. Should have got a beer or something. Typically don't eat on Sundays though. Yeah, that no matter what is powerful. Extremely powerful. I appreciate y'all. Money green. Money green. My diet consists of fruits and vegetables. Fruits, vegetables. Actually, I eat more than that. Oh, dang. Okay. All these requests at once. My bad, y'all. All these requests at once. One at a time, one at a time, one at a time now. What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm blessed. I can't complain. Life is good.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
So, why do you think, and me and my girlfriend, we went to brunch today, we were like having a whole conversation, and I was telling her actually about you and the whole changing of the mindset. And she was like recently just getting out of a relationship, and she just was like playing things out, and it kind of went through the different analogies on a specific, like there was a girl involved and how she initially thought, okay, you could show up and just be like this is my woman and whatever, or there could be a second, option there where she's actually talking to her or whatever. And she leaned towards the second, and that's kind of how it played out. But and I was like, it's her story, and that she wrote that story, and we were talking about childhood trauma and all this stuff. But what we came to was, why is it so hard for us to, as human beings, I see a lot of people here, and even myself, to like work on the consciousness. People are always like, oh, that's so hard to change my mindset. And then we were like using this analogy about like a table. We're like, oh, we could lift this table, no problem. Like we would figure that out. Like, shoot,
Yeah.
And in the physical world, we don't see any issues. There's nothing that's stopping us, and we would move, physical objects or whatever. But when it comes to our mind, it's like,
Yeah.
to change my mind and to like make decisions. Like, why is that?
Well, because we think that reality is solid, and we think that about our own minds as well, right? We don't think that, most people don't really understand that you are new in every moment. Right? So we think, okay, working on your consciousness, and we can talk about consciousness from a whole bunch of different perspectives, right? Working on just your spiritual walk, working on being present, working on changing my concept of self, whatever you're referring to, right? We think in terms of our programming. Oh, because I am this today, in order to change that, then I have to go down this long path to change it. Instead of realizing the truth that there's only right now. So if I want to change who I am, I just have to change it right now. And the moment I change it right now, it's done. It is done. So does that even answer your question?
Yeah, so, but like, why do we play like those mind games with like you say it, and you say it like so easily, like, hey, just say it and it is. But most people struggle with it. That will be like a battle, internally, or whatever you want to say for them. Like, it will take them time, or they won't get it. Like, why?
Great question. There is this resistance where we think that things have to be difficult. A lot of people believe that things have to be difficult, right? And because life typically teaches you things like that. It'll say like, um, what is that saying? Anything that's worth it takes time, or hard, nothing easy, or what does it say?
Nothing good comes with
Yeah, nothing
easily
good
or
is
something like
easily.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
things like that. We constantly have these catchphrases that are just thrown out in reality that push us away from our divinity. When really manifesting, creating reality should be as easy as breathing. It should be a very simple process. You should walk through life and you should simply decree and choose things and use your awareness and be in the present moment and enjoy life and allow the God within you to simply add on to you in ways that are like you. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely see it because I was for sure that person, oh, if I work hard and I hustle
Yeah.
and, I trudge through life,
Yeah.
whatever it throws at you,
Exactly.
that I will be successful, which has got me to where I'm at today, which
Yeah.
is not a bad thing. But now, especially since listening to you, it's just been like staying in the moment, staying in the present. All we have is right now, and things will just be easy. It just will be.
Yeah.
There is no other option.
Exactly. And once we make that decision in that present moment, it must be so. Right?
Yeah.
We're the one who even creates that reality where we're like, oh no, hard work, hard work, hard work. We're the one who creates that, and it gets so ingrained within us that it becomes very difficult to pull it out. This is why even when it comes to this path, I'll say, okay, well, it's easy, just decide it. And we still want it to be harder. Nah. What if I see something that I don't like? What if this? What if that? Right? So it's this constant desire to add more work. It's almost as if we're trying to be worthy of the God that created us, right? Which is who we are. We simply are awareness and spirit. It's like we're always trying to be worthy and get validation from something outside of us when there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I've definitely seen like just little stuff. I've been testing it because I'm a tester.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, let me just think about this and just see if it shows up. And
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this works.
Yeah, it works. For
Everything
sure.
is going to be easy. That's it. There's no other option. So.
No other option. No other option. It
Yeah.
has no choice. It
No
has no choice.
choice.
And I think the testing part is it's perfect because I think I do kind of allude to that a lot. Like, all right, instead of focusing on one thing, focus on everything. Start to see yourself as the creator. Right? How do you walk into work? How do you walk into that restaurant? What do you do in all these situations? So I think that testing is perfect because you really start to see yourself as the creator. You start seeing that even big, like there's no such thing as a big thing and a little thing. There's simply consciousness.
Yeah, no, totally. It's just simple stuff like where I'm at the gym and I want the guy next to me to help me with the equipment. Going into a meeting, like Friday, my boss got back from work and I knew he was going to be on fire. And I was like, no, it's going to be easy. He's going to be like, you did an amazing job this week and take it easy this weekend. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Thanks. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. I haven't done it recently, but typically for new people that I work with, I'll have them manifest something very specific. I typically have women manifest flowers from a stranger. Can't be somebody they know, from a stranger. And I have men manifest a drink, getting a drink at the bar. So it's always interesting because those are kind of big things. So when those things happen, it's like, oh shoot, I've been creating this all along.
Well, it was like, I know you said that analogy about flowers, but I buy my own flowers, so I didn't try that one.
Yeah.
And then having like this thing where, people aren't helpful or they're rude. So I feel like that moves on my mind. It's like, is everybody in this world just rude? Like, we can't be nice to each other. So it's been more about that. Like,
Gotcha.
people being nice and like letting me in when I have to get over the road or, I'm in the line at the grocery store. And they're like, oh, you have less stuff. Go ahead of me or whatever.
Exactly. We're supposed to use it in all areas of your life. Nothing is the exception. Nothing is the
Yeah.
exception. Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate that. Did I even answer your question?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
You did answer
Okay,
my
cool.
question.
Just making sure. Because we kind of went off topic. I just making sure.
I ramble. So
Nah, me too.
I ramble and go down different rabbit holes.
Me too. Me too. Cool. Well, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Cool. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, cool. I appreciate you. Have a good one. You have a great one. Shall talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
All right. All right, next up. Who's the next brave soul? What's up?
Oh my God, it's me.
It's you.
I'm a real person.
Yeah, you are a real person. I was starting to wonder.
Robot. Sounds like I should maybe request.
Yeah. It's a good idea. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
No complaints. I'm blessed. I am blessed.
I just had like a specific question regarding like manifesting.
Mm-hmm.
I know you say time doesn't really matter, but I feel like in my head, I just always think about how our brain sometimes needs training. You know, like I feel like you can't just jump into a thought pattern when a thought pattern has existed for so long that was negative. Does that make sense?
I get where you're going from a practical perspective, yes.
Because I feel like it just sounds like your body kind of keeps the score, kind of like that book. I don't know if I'm sure you've heard of it, but it's like if someone from our past, I guess, left us like so wounded, maybe that story is just so powerful and our body knows how powerful that is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I end up thinking about timing and how you have to like kind of practice step by step to redirect the thoughts in a positive way, you know?
So who accepted that to be true?
The wounding?
Yeah, or thinking that would, not the wounding, but who accepted it to be true that the wounding and those feelings in your body and those previous patterns have a hold on you right now, and it takes a while to actually change your thought patterns? Who comes up with that? Who accepted that to be true?
I suppose it's just like what I hear,
Yeah,
so I believe it to be the case.
exactly. But is what you hear always reality?
No, but a lot of people that preach about manifesting also say that you have to start small, like maybe try to manifest a cup of coffee from a stranger. So that's why my brain
I got you.
tends to think about timing and practicing and going step by step, you know?
I got you. Well, those coaches are wrong. There's no big or small to the divine. This is the same power that creates the universe within you, right? So there's no big or small or little manifestation, but it's all the same, right? Me manifesting $1 is the same as $10,000. The only thing that makes a difference is my perception of them. But I guess that is the actual master story in this, or the master lesson in this, is that all we have in our life, right? Like all we are is a bunch of things that we've heard from other people. We have to make the decision on which thought forms, which stories we want to actually accept as true, and we want to live our life based on. Right? Is that okay? Your reality, like we were talking about, right? You can't define yourself, or I don't know if you're on this part, so I'll ask again, right? If you had to define yourself without thought, like without a memory of who you were, with no past, just based on who you are right now, who would you be? And you would simply be awareness. You wouldn't be able to say anything about yourself because you are just awareness. If you don't have a story about someone else, you can't explain them. So all people are, that show up in your reality is just a collection of your expectations and stories about them. This goes deeper. The way that your reality unfolds is just based on your thoughts and your expectations and your stories about it. So, is a story that because I feel a certain way, it's going to be difficult for me to create or manifest? Is that a story that I want to live?
Yeah, clearly not a story I want to live at all.
Then why do you accept it?
Because I suppose like my nervous system is like trained
Mm-hmm.
to accept it.
But that's the thing, right? Your nervous system is just a feeling. It's just your body. You are the divine. You are source. You're all that there is, no matter what. You can't define you based on something temporary. Your body in its entirety is temporary. The circumstance that you went through yesterday, the circumstance today, all of these things are temporary. They're not you. You are the awareness that says what you are. You are behind all of that. So I hear you that you can say, okay, my nervous system might feel this way. I need to regulate it. I've heard people say this, and I've heard I have to start small. You don't have to accept that story. You are the creator of your reality in every sense. You have the last say so. You are the one who can decide, do I want to make this creation process difficult, or do I want to make this easy and in alignment with who I am? The only rule is that my words, my I am awareness creates my reality, what I'm aware of being. So the moment that I'm aware of being someone who is always in alignment no matter what, I do the nervous system regulation, all that. I can do that, but that has nothing to do with my manifestation. My manifestations are divinely guided to me because I am inherently worthy. No matter what, I am in alignment with the divine. I breathe the divine. Like every step that I take, I am transporting the divine through this earth, right? So once you start thinking of those stories, right, you start controlling those stories and everything can fall into place. But it does not serve you to believe that your body is holding you back because your body is just your vessel. You have carried many bodies.
Yeah.
It's just a vessel and it's been through certain things that you perceive in the past, but those things are not real. They're just stories that you're still telling today.
And then earlier when I think it was Jessica, she was talking about like a specific person manifesting. But in some capacity, like don't you think that's us being feeling delusional? Like wanting someone that might have hurt us, or you think it's as you with that because for some reason, like, we think we need to experience that again
It could be.
in a new format.
It could be delusional, but that's up for you to decide. So even the word delusional, it's implying that it's something that is unrealistic, right? Well, delusional, it will imply that it's something that's somewhat unrealistic,
Yeah.
right? So we label delusion as all kinds of things, right? But really, as human beings, we're always in delusion. We're always in the state of imagining the future. We're either imagining best case or worst case scenarios all the time. That is the human experience. When we're going through, we are being delusional. So we can put all those labels on it, but remember, those labels, they didn't want you, this happened, I felt bad, or all of those are just the past. The past doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. I can pull a new version of them right now. So that version that's going to show up isn't going to be that same person.
But what about free will?
You do have free will, and they have free will to match your expectations. But there's infinite realities, right? So think of reality like this. Right now, okay, there are infinite versions of you, and they're all in different realities. Right now, you're in this reality. There's all kinds of different versions, infinite, all of them you can imagine. This is the same as everybody. But you're always flipping through versions of people like I don't know what you call this, like a Rolodex. You're just flipping through them based on your expectations. You are choosing which version is going to show up next to you. So based on my expectations, their free will is going to match my expectation. This is what free will is. It's my free will to choose in my reality, and it's their free will to choose in their reality. So they're in a reality that's not this reality. This reality, you are the primary point of consciousness in here. In their reality, they are, but their reality is different than this. So you never meet the same person twice. They always change based on your expectations. So yes, free will exists. However, in your reality, think of it as you're the only one who has free will. It's your free will, right? You can't have half free will. You can't have half free will. So if everybody in one reality had all free will, then you really wouldn't have free will.
So you're saying, since I'm the main character of my story, I'm able to like alter the story to the point that someone in my past or present can match that new story?
Yeah, someone in your present, not your past. The past is done. You can't change anybody in the past. But by being who you are right now, a new version of them steps forward in the present.
Yeah, I guess what I mean is like someone you might have known, or even an entirely new person.
Yeah, they're always an entirely new person. This is why you might go to an event with somebody, and then later on you start talking about it, and y'all have two completely different memories about it, or y'all remember certain things differently, because this is not the same version of them that you were in that situation with.
And
So people
what
are...
about when someone, like obviously writing a new story is something we're all capable of doing, but where do you suggest someone starts? Like is it through just affirming out loud? I know there's no set rules, but I guess like from your perspective, how have you gone about it?
I do enjoy affirmations just because they remind me of who I am, and I can take some time out in the day and write some, and it's fun. But the primary law is, who are you being? As you walk through this reality, who are you being? What story are you constantly reminding yourself of being? Right? That is embodiment. That's the law of assumption. That's the law of being. When you are walking through life, what is your dominant story? That's where it starts. Your identity, your concept of self, that is what creates reality. Affirmations are cool, but if I affirm for 5 minutes and then for 8 hours out of that day, I'm just, I go back to an old version of myself, then what am I going to continuously get? I'm going to continuously get that old version of me. So the goal is to get yourself to a point where you're constantly telling the same story. You're constantly talking about reality in a way that fits your expectations of the outcomes that you want.
And when you're losing yourself, to constantly just remember.
Yeah, forgive yourself.
To be.
Yeah, remember that the past didn't matter. It's just right now, right? So I forgive myself for that time that I was going down, just like Peter falling in the water or sinking in the water when he was walking on it. The moment he put his awareness back on his I am awareness of Jesus, he was able to walk on that water again. So it's simply about you embodying that story by telling the same thing over and over and over again. Anytime you have the opportunity to tell the story of what you want, that's the story that you tell.
And do you also suggest like not really listening to sad music and such, because that also plays a part in the life that we live, in the story that we're telling ourselves?
I mean, I don't know if I think about that.
I've heard that that's important, but I feel
You
like I keep my old story alive a lot by listening to sad songs.
Well, if you feel that way, then you shouldn't listen to sad songs.
Yeah.
If that's how you feel, then cut it out. Right, cut it out. But I do want you to be strong-minded enough that it doesn't matter. You're the one who gets to define what you're identified as. You're the one who gets to define what you identify with. Identified as what you identify with.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm hearing this, I'm like, oh, that all sounds good. But it's easy to fall back
Yeah.
to our previous thoughts and
Mm.
conditioning.
Mm. Is it?
but it can change.
Yeah, I mean, one day at a time, one moment at a time. You make the decision right now to be somebody new, and all of a sudden, everything must unfold for you. You
Sorry,
get,
you cut out. What did you say?
oh, I say, yeah, you make the decision to be someone new, moment by moment, and everything works out for you. You got this.
Thank you.
You got this.
Those were all the questions.
So that was it.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. Well, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you jumping on.
Guys, I'm gonna go back to being sleepy now.
All right, cool. Later. What's up? What's up?
Oh, I did not.
Oh, you
I
ain't.
was requesting to come up. My fault.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I was just enjoying listening to you guys.
No problem. So nothing to ask. You want me to take you off, or you good?
Well, so I've gotten the whole manifestation thing down. It's kind of coming up with a dream that I'm stuck on.
Coming up with a dream, right? Thinking about your end goals.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Like I have a few of them, but I just don't know how to dream for myself anymore.
Don't know how to dream for yourself anymore. Okay. Well, typically, I don't really think that knowing why that happened is the important part. More so, just figuring out, okay, what to do next. So,
Exactly.
so where are you struggling? Is in what aspects and what kinds of dreams?
Well, I guess what I want my legacy to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, shoot, that's an evolving thing anyway.
Okay. All right. Maybe that's the issue then.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
mean-
expecting me to know right away.
So there's a book called The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. He gives a really beautiful example of purpose. He says, it's a book for men, but anybody can learn from it. He says your purpose is like an onion. All right, so you're walking through life, and maybe in this season for the next 6 months, you have something that really speaks to you. You're focused on one thing. Maybe it's fitness. Maybe it's learning a new skill for a job that you want. But that 6 months, you're going to go through that purpose. And then when that expires, when that purpose isn't fulfilling to you anymore, it'll lead to something greater, or it'll lead to a point in time where you don't have anything. You might just be in self-development. But constantly you are peeling back the layers. So for this next 2 years, my purpose might be, I don't know, just focus on family. Next 2 years, I might meet somebody and we open a business, and starting that business might be that purpose. But just by walking through life, I'm going to constantly get these new purposes until I meet this core purpose that I believe, I can stick with this for the rest of my life. So even finding purpose, finding that large end goal, a lot of it is just walking through life and being open to the experiences that are presented to you.
Okay. All right. Well, that helps a lot. So I was about to leave and go to like South Carolina
Yeah.
and trust my intuition on that just to see if I can, wing it by myself, because this is the first time I'm by myself.
Yeah.
So I was gonna like pitch a tent, do all that, and see if I can do all the steps to getting to a job having like roots there.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I feel like I might have been making it too hard for myself.
Perhaps. I mean, if you feel just intuitively pushed there, maybe you're not making it too hard for yourself. But if you
Right.
fall back and you're like, maybe there's another easier path that I want because I prefer a easier path, then, you got to trust yourself on that as well. But
Exactly.
I would also say, when you're making these kind of decisions, once you make the declaration that no matter what I do is perfect, and then you simply move, you're going to be redirected to wherever you need to be anyway.
That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
See, I always get lost in that.
Yeah.
It's like I dream, and then I'm like, okay, we have to let the process happen. And it's letting the process happen that I get impatient by.
Well, can you make every step of the process, right? Like, so you already know your end goal is to find this larger thing, this larger kind of life-fulfilling purpose or life-fulfilling goal. Well, you're going to have a bunch of steps to get there. So now your focus right now is, okay, how do I make the next best decision? So you make the decree. All right, I know that I will make the next best decision, and it will be backed 100% by the source within me. Then you do your
Okay.
best. And then you make the next decision, you do the same thing. So you treat every step on that journey as this is the perfect step for my unfolding, and you allow everything to unfold in there. So instead of focusing on this large timeline, can you focus on smaller timelines?
Okay. Now, by any chance, do you have any help with when you started manifesting that you became really psychic and it really messes with you now? Do you have any help on that?
Well, once you're on the path, you can't go back. So I mean, you gotta get the best to get used to
I
it.
asked for this gift. What am I supposed to do with this?
Well, shoot, that's a good question to ask, though. I mean, do you feel like there's an intention behind it or the purpose behind it right now in your life?
Other than kind of helping me understand where most of the problems come from not seeing eye to eye, but then it all goes back down to manifestation. So am
Yeah.
I just jumping in higher or past timelines of when it's happened and then coming back to reality?
Could
I don't
be.
know.
Could be. Very
Right.
possible, very plausible, all of the above, right?
Right?
It could be all of
I don't
that.
know. Some hanky shit's happened since I've started manifesting. Excuse my French.
No, you
but I'm
good.
like, I'm just kind of like losing my mind, but I'm so sane at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on.
What about using it to help other people? Has that crossed your mind?
Yeah. I've tried like the tarot card thing, but it's just like the tarot cards don't feel right. I just feel like it's so overplayed.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big tarot fan myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could help you that way, but then again, is it all just me understanding the logical outcome for them going through it, and it just makes me think I'm psychic? Because I
Hey,
can just pinpoint it.
look. I mean, what is really psychic anyway? Because I was gonna try to ease into this, but you opened up the door, so I'll ask it. What really is psychic anyway, right? Because everything is still changing in every moment.
Right.
So yeah, I can glimpse certain timelines. I can get insight from certain timelines. But is that timeline guaranteed to have happened or happen? Maybe,
Exactly.
maybe not,
Because
right?
we're all up there dreaming.
Yeah.
So is it real or is it fake?
Exactly. It's as real as you make it. It's as fake as you make it, or whoever you tell makes it.
Exactly.
But the information
but
always
I
can be.
predicted the whole Ozzy Osbourne thing like a week ago, well, a week before it happened.
Oh,
so
look, hey.
that's where I got the proof.
Look, I got some parlays when this NFL season starts. I might have to call you. I might have to
It's
call
like, I've also
you.
been able to jump into future timelines too. So I don't, it's just like I've kind of like lost my spaceship in
Yeah.
manifesting. So now I'm like, I have all these possibilities. What way do I go?
I got
Because
you.
just started to be a better mom and a better wife, and
Yeah.
now I'm like, oh, holy crap! There's a whole world here.
I feel you. Man, I swear, I need to borrow you for a little bit. Like, hey, look, what the stock market is doing this thing. But hey,
Right.
help me out.
If I could figure out how the stocks works, and someone could just show me the basics of it, I could definitely predict it for you.
Man,
I
what?
just don't know the basics of it yet. And I've been trying to teach myself, but I don't have enough of a attention span for it.
Alright.
Because my brain's not for numbers.
You are talking my language. You are talking my language. I don't pass.
So I might be able to help. I just need to figure out the pattern. And what times like everyone's doing the most, like when they're most excited, because I can tap into that and figure out what's gonna hit.
Oh, don't worry.
It just all depends.
I'll show you. Don't worry. I got you. I don't pass up blessings, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Thank
Me
you.
neither.
Yeah, I don't
Me
pass
neither,
up.
because hey, if you can help with the stocks, I can help with you figuring out which one's the best ones for you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay.
All right.
Make sure I remember who you are, girl. Look.
I know. So my content's a little out there because it's when I'm heavily channeling, so don't mind it.
Oh,
It's
I
just
don't.
For the plot.
Oh, I don't mind it. Don't worry.
It's for the
Don't.
plot.
No judgment over here.
I know. I was like, well, if I'm gonna show out as a new me, I'm gonna be the craziest version of me, which is when I'm channeling the dark divine mother. So.
Perfect. I like that. The dark divine mother and me finna make some money. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. No, I appreciate you. I
All
appreciate
right.
you.
I will let you enjoy your day, and
Will
I'm
do.
gonna step down gracefully.
Will do. I appreciate your time.
I appreciate you too.
Thank you.
Bye.
You said you surprised I don't win every day? I don't win every day. What's up?
Hello.
How are
Can
you?
hear me?
I hear you wonderfully. How you doing today?
Okay, thank you. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Thank you.
Okay, I'm a little nervous.
Ah, no problem. No problem. We can take a couple deep breaths together.
Okay. Okay, so I
Okay.
wanted to ask if we can really like manifest anything with like, or if there's like laws and like limits to it. So, for example,
Hmm.
can we manifest not having or like getting rid of a physical disease we have, for example?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can get rid of whatever. There's nothing off limits. There's nothing off limits. The only thing that's off limits is your imagination, right? So this is even what these stories of Jesus representing your I am awareness were trying to tell us, is that we heal people by what? By seeing them as perfect, right? Just the ailment, the manifestation of a disease within somebody, a physical ailment of any kind, right, is a perception of, it's really your body cleansing or whatever. But I've seen some very, very interesting things, from like autistic people being able to all of a sudden starting to speak because their parents, even though I have great reverence for people with any kind of disability. I have great reverence because of the spiritual nature of them. But if that's what you want in your reality, there is nothing off limits, right? For instance, my mom was cancer. Right? She had stage 4 lung cancer. She was only supposed to have a couple months. Only supposed to have a couple months. And that was a couple years ago. And so, yes, the key is to see people as perfect and not see them within their illness. Simply love them. Remember, reality is just made out of love. It's just made out of rays of love of the divine. And the moment you realize that everything that you create is with love. So when you are inversing that love, that's what you get. But when you are purely seeing people, right, forgiving others so your Father in heaven can forgive you, when you are not judging by appearance but judging righteously, now you open up the gate for all of these miracles to happen. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, but I was also thinking,
Mm-hmm.
like, sometimes we want something, but it's not what we really need. And
Okay.
I was thinking, like sometimes we really, really, really want something, but our higher self is kind of like, there's something better for you, you just don't see it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, like, are there certain things that you're not like allowed to manifest even though you try so much, just because it's not what you really need? Or can you manifest things even though you really don't need them and they're going kind of like against you and your highest potential? I don't know if like I'm explaining
No,
myself.
that makes sense. That makes sense. So remember this, right? The short answer is no. The short answer is you're always creating. You can have whatever you want. There's no limits, right? But when we talk about your highest good, your only goal when you came down here was simply to create. It was simply to know yourself as a creator and to experience that divinity unfolding from within you. That was your goal. So whenever we say things like, oh, it's for my highest good and I won't get it, that's implying, right? That's implying that you can't have anything that you desire, which you can, right? When we step into this space, right, when we believe in separation, that story can be easy to latch on to, that there is some judger. Remember, because your higher self is just you. It's just you, but it's attached to all the realities that you are living right now. That's it. That's the only difference. It's just you. But when we think of this like this separation, where we have this judger in the sky, and he's telling us, or we have this higher self, this infinite being within us, and it's saying, no, you can't experience that because there's something better, right? You're denying yourself of your own power. That's just a story that you're telling. And typically that story is a coping story, because something that we wanted, we don't believe that it is unfolding for us. That makes sense.
But what if it's like really like impossible to get it? Like,
Can you define impossible?
because like it's not going to happen. Like, for example, if it's like the death of someone, like you're not going to like get them back, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to like accept that. I'm just like wondering because, for example, like maybe there's been like really like dark moments in my life that in the moment I was like, I just don't want to be going through this. Like, I don't see the point. This is just suffering. But then right now I look at it, like I look back and I see that if that wouldn't have happened, then I wouldn't have lived through so many things that are important to me right now.
Absolutely.
Like I wouldn't be the person that I am right now. So that leads me to think that sometimes we cannot see like what we really need, and we just have to trust that it's going to go like that it's going to work for us, even though we're not getting what we need at the like what we want at the moment.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful that you said it like that. It's very, very insightful. Yes and no, right? Yes and no. You're always going to be able to create whatever you want. But if I'm in a story or if I'm living a life where things have happened and because of those things, I'm able to see the beauty in life. You sound like a very, very beautiful person on the inside, right? The most beautiful people that I know, that you know, that any of us know, right? These are people that have experienced certain things and they're able to stay divine and choose that path of looking at the world beautifully no matter what they go through, which is what you have done, right? So yes, when you're going through situations, when you have that perspective that everything is still working out, that everything should still flow perfectly for me, then that's what it is. So you've constantly had that outlook, so things have been. But that in no way takes away from your ability from this moment forward to actually create absolutely everything that you want. You can create the seemingly impossible. I can't tell that story, but I have had a client manifest something that they received from a deceased family member, which when hearing it seems impossible, but it wasn't. Why wasn't it impossible? Because there is no true death. There is a transitioning from this physical experience, but there is no true death. We don't die. Our soul is eternal, right? So I get you, but there is nothing that is impossible. Now, could someone get up and walk from the tomb? Well, perhaps not, but can you still experience someone even though they have transitioned from this reality? Absolutely.
Okay. And also another question.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when I'm trying to tell myself my new story, like in my head,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also like this other voice that is telling like the other story. Is it okay for the other voice to just be there, and me keep telling like the new story, or does she have to like get out
No.
for it to work?
No, you're tapped in. So no, the only thing that matters is what you're identifying with. So can you make the difference between a thought and what you actually identify as the truth?
Okay, so like knowing that I'm more than my thoughts or my emotions.
Absolutely. Even your thoughts are simply temporary. Thoughts temporary, emotions are temporary. What you identify as, right? The only thing that's real is I am, but I can identify as whatever I want to experience in this reality. So your identification, which is deeper than even your thoughts and your emotions, that is what is outpictured in your reality. All the other voices, all the other thoughts, all the other emotions and circumstances, those are purely noise.
Wow, this really helped me. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, because, for example, I've been struggling with like a lot of anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
and when it really gets you is when you like feel you are the anxiety, like
Yeah.
yeah,
You're at, yeah, exactly. That is
Yeah.
that is absolutely when we get it, or when it gets us, when we think we're the feeling, when we believe that we are the intrusive thought, but you are the consciousness behind it, observing yourself, right? You're the one watching yourself ask the questions. You're the one watching yourself making the statements, and you get to decide, am I going to identify with this or not? Let those feelings pass through you, right? Give yourself grace. Let that voice say whatever. Give yourself grace, but know that at your core, you already are everything that you desire to be.
okay, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for what you're doing. Like really,
Thank you.
You helped me a lot.
I appreciate you. I
Can
appreciate
I
you.
say like a random thing?
Go
I
ahead.
noticed, and I just keep noticing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if no one has told you this before, but
You gonna say something embarrassing?
you have Brad Pitt's voice. It's the same voice.
You are wild.
Really?
You are wild. I heard that on a comment today. I saw it on a
I think
comment.
that was me, probably.
Was it? Was it? I was like, what do you mean Brad Pitt's voice? What?
You have to like watch a movie and like close your eyes. It's you.
All right. Matter of fact, we finna listen to some Brad Pitt right now.
I don't know, I just keep noticing it.
That's so funny.
But thank you so much.
Nah, no problem.
Have a great day.
I appreciate it. You have a beautiful day as well.
Goodbye.
Later. Ooh, that was funny. All right, let's hear Brad Pitt. Let us hear Brad Pitt.
I know it's only biscuit, no cookie. No, biscuits and gravy, man. Mayor's chips. You ever had biscuits and gravy? You are so American, man. Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna listen to that on my spare time, and I'm gonna judge myself accordingly. I'm gonna judge myself according. No, a regular movie. No. We're not gonna do that right now. I appreciate y'all. I might need y'all's help for real. Thank y'all. Anybody else want to join up, or y'all got any more other questions that y'all want to talk about? The topic for today, my brother, was awareness. We talked about awareness. How you are not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, you are purely the awareness behind it all. But right now we can talk about whatever. But still got a little bit of time. Still got a little bit of time. Nah, it's not the time to be shy and scared right now. Of course things have been changing because you've changed. Of course things have been changing, my brother. All right, let me see here. How can you trust? How can you build your trust without relying on the 3D? Okay, that's a good one. And then how many times do we have to make the intention behind our desire before it shows up to count? How many times? All right, we can start right there. How many times do we have to show up or make the intention once, right? God hears you the first time. God hears you the first time, right? You only have to tell things once. Why we do the repetition is because our ego, our conscious mind sometimes wants to tell these stories. And that is where the combat is. It's not that you're reprogramming God. It's not that you are trying to convince God to give you something. You're hurt the first time. Everything is unfolding the absolute first time. But you don't want to change your story because you're new in every moment. That is why whenever that subject comes up in your mind, you say it again. Then you say it again. No matter what. No matter what. I keep going to that end. That is where the power is, all right? But you're not doing that to convince reality. Reality is already convinced. It's already unfolding. You're simply doing that to remind yourself you already have it so you can continue to walk down your path. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't think I sound like Brad Pitt either. Thank you. Thank you. And are they not real? How are you the only thinker in your reality? Oh, what was the other question before I asked that? My bad. I think that was kind of in alignment. So let's talk about both of those together. How can you build your trust without relying on the 3D? And then, do you have any thoughts on how to overcome negative strongholds? Yeah. How to build trust without relying on the 3D is to take your consciousness and awareness off of it. Remember, you're a conscious being. So the point of you being conscious is so that you can be conscious of something. Consciousness is always conscious of something. Typically, if we go through life unconscious, we become conscious of the external world. So we're walking around always worried about Susie and Jim and John and James and Jenny, right? Instead of simply putting that awareness on myself as the creator. So I'll ask you this, right? When you're relying on the 3D, why do you believe the 3D can validate you? The only thing that can validate you is this present moment. Is you being secure in who you are being right now and allowing that to unfold from within you, right? Reality, it's almost as if we're waiting for proof from the external world so that we can truly walk in faith. When the proof that you are going to receive what you want is truly walking in faith. That is the proof. The external world can't validate you. It can only give you what you're already being. And if you're not putting your head down and actually being that person and being so reliant on your consciousness, well, you're constantly going to be in this hamster wheel with reality, where you're trying to be, you're looking out to see and get some validation so you can know you're doing the right thing. And since nothing's changed, you're like, oh, I need to affirm different. Oh, I need to visualize different. Oh, I need to change my affirmations. I need to be in the end differently. Oh, am I not doing this right? The more that you're asking for validation out there, the more you're just going to stay on that hamster wheel. Because if I'm looking for validation out there, reality is me. It's only going to give me who I am. And I am a person who's looking for validation. So it's going to give me more situations that continue to have me looking for validation because that's who I'm being. This is the law of being, the law of assumption. As within, so without. You are reality. There's no separation. So understanding these laws can help you walk differently. Instead of me thinking about that person, right, that thing, why don't I focus on me? Who am I with that person? Well, shit, I am a magnetic, divine, conscious, prosperous, badass motherfucker. However you want to say it. You are those things. So when you take your consciousness off of them, and you make it about you because you are reality, they're not reality. They're an aspect of your consciousness, of your awareness. They are not reality. You are reality. Right? So focus on you and then allow all things to be added unto you. Seek ye first the kingdom, and the kingdom is within you. Seek ye first the kingdom, and all things shall be added unto thee. All right? So that's number one. Number two was how to overcome negative thoughts. You simply overcome them one moment at a time. You simply overcome them one moment at a time. One moment at a time, right? Like we talk about negative thoughts and overcoming them as if we want to overcome them permanently, but there's only this present moment, right? So when I have a negative thought, what do? I forgive myself for having it. My bad. I'm not that person anymore. That situation is not like that anymore. I am new in this moment. I do not conform to the world. I'm renewed by the transforming of my own mind. How many times do I have to transform it? How many times do I have to forgive myself? How many times do I have to overcome that quote unquote negative thought? As many times as it takes. Infinity. Infinity. Right? It's infinity. So the goal is to be so conscious and present with yourself. Right? So even when I say that, right, it's not about taking all of your attention off of your child, right? Just living in la la land where your child's falling off the couch, right? It's about being present with them, right? It's about being present with your child when you are there, right? Knowing that you are doing the best. Yeah, I'm doing the best, right? Sometimes that is what you need, right? I'm not saying to walk around with your awareness only on your body all day, but what is the story that you're telling about yourself, the awareness of yourself when you are taking care of your child, right? I am doing the best that I can, and that is perfect. I am that I am, and that is perfect. I am the best mother that I am the mother that my son's soul and my daughter's soul chose. And I will give it my best in whatever way my best is right now, and that is perfect. Right? That's what I mean when I say focusing on yourself and making it about yourself. And now because you make that declaration, now you show up fully. Right? I don't mean, and maybe I do need to make that more clear, I don't mean just walking around and having your focus simply on your body all day. I mean, you focus on your concept of self all day. Right? Instead of being like, oh, I hope that they like me, because I am doing the best that I can, and that is enough. I am that I am, no matter what. That is perfect. In my perfection, me showing up as fully as I can, is the perfect action to open up whatever door is meant for me. Right? So that's what I mean. I'm glad you said that. I'm truly glad you said that, because hopefully that helped. Maybe I haven't been clear enough on that aspect. Right? This is what I mean when I say make it about you. Focus on you. Right? Even when you're talking about your SPs, right? Are you making it about you? Are you making it about you? Everything is unfolding perfectly for me no matter what. I shall do the best that I can moment after moment. And that is the perfect action for me to take, for everything to unfold beautifully, divinely, for me, through me, as me, to me. Right? So this is what I mean when I say make it about yourself. Instead of, gotcha, exactly. That's what I mean by making it about yourself with your SP. It's all unfolding for me, and everything that I have done today has been in perfect alignment with what I've needed to do to have everything unfold for me. Remember, you're the creator. You get to say your words. A lot of times when y'all talking about these people, you'll get out of a situation being like, oh, I wavered. Instead of simply making the decree, I did the best that I could today. The perfection of source is within me, was within me today. Therefore, every step, every action that I took was perfect today, and it's leading me exactly to my divinely designed destination. How often do you tell yourself things like that? How often do you tell yourself things like that? It is perfect. It is perfect. It's always perfect, no matter what. Situation, I don't care what the situation looks like. The God within me is perfect, so the situation must be unfolding perfectly. God within me is perfect. The God within you is perfect, so the situation must be unfolding absolutely perfectly without a single fault, no matter what. Every move, right? You got two decisions to make. You don't know which one is the best one. How do I react in this situation no matter what? I do my best no matter what. Every step I take is divinely aligned with the source within me. The creator of worlds walks with me, speaks through me, breathes as me. So it must be, right? So start speaking your power as you're walking through life, right? Start speaking your power as you're walking through life, right? Because this is your divinity, right? Your divinity is not in, or your power is always in your speech, right? It's not in just sitting around and being like, why did I do that? Dang, was I wavering? No, I wasn't, because I say I wasn't. I already, before I walked in the situation, I declared it to be perfect. Now that I walk out of it, I declared that it was perfect. No matter what happened, I don't care what it looked like, the situation was perfect, so it's all unfolding perfectly. Today was an absolutely perfect day. I don't care if you sat on the couch. Today was an absolutely perfect day, where everything has been divinely unfolding perfectly for me towards every single goal that I have, no matter what. Don't care what it looks like. Don't care what you say. Don't care what you think about it. I don't care what anybody has to think about it. I have already made the decree, and so it is. Now, exactly. You divine now, right? Begin to speak your power. Your job is not to try to be better at this. Your job is to start actually choosing what you want to experience with conviction. That is your job. Your job is not to walk around tiptoeing in this space. Your job is to walk through this game and simply make declarations. Choose. Make up your mind on what you want. Do you want to focus on that old story, or do you want to focus on that new? Right? Do you want that new, or do you want that old thing back? You don't want that old thing back. Get that new, right? That new. Look, man, like reality is awareness. It's pure awareness, right? There is no past, or there's really no past, no future. There's only now. You don't know anything about anybody. The only thing that you know is the story that you tell about them. You can't tell me how somebody really is. You can tell me your perception about them, your story, and that is real. That is a real way of how you experience them, because it is your story. I can ask somebody else, and they can give me a completely different story about them, because it is a different perception. That's a completely different reality. But we'll say, no. That person just has a different experience because they like this type of person, yada, yada, yada. Just arguing for limitations. My goodness. That's what we do. We just start arguing for our limitations. No, it can't be like that. This is just how he is. You don't understand. In the past, a year ago, they did this, and 6 months later, this happened. Who is telling that story? Who is telling that story? How can you receive one version of someone and someone else receives another version of someone? And we will sit around saying things like, I'm such a good person, but this person, they just don't want good people, and yada, yada, yada. Just telling the story of what we don't want. Okay, so basically you are saying, I am the type of person that deals with somebody, and no matter how good I am, they do not show up fully for me, and they show up fully for everybody else. Just arguing for our limitations, just creating worlds that we don't want to inhabit. What are you here for? Are you here to live in the reality that you do not want? Or are you here to experience the divine unfolding of you from within you? Right? From within you. People change like that. People change overnight. You've experienced it before, even when you were not walking around as informed, right? Where somebody one day was one way, the next day they were completely different. Completely different. One day they just woke up and it was like night and day. Damn, what's wrong with you? Completely different. Oh, he just ghosted me. I don't know what happened. People change up all the time. New versions of people step forward all the time. Why? Exactly. Give yourself that permission. Step into, have some backbone. Have some backbone, right? Make the decision on what you want and allow life to show up exactly the way that you want it. You have the power. You're lacking nothing. You don't need a savior. You don't need a priest. You don't need a pastor. You don't need anything. You don't need a baptism. You don't need shit. You already have everything. You already have the Christ within you. Now you simply need to speak it. Now you simply need to be it. All right, being, speaking, same thing. You simply need to own that power. Like, there's absolute perfection in I am. That I am awareness, that declaration that I am is absolute perfection. Absolute perfection, right? and you stop speaking with your dad, he pushes and pushes your body. Is that okay? Yeah, it's fine. I mean, you make the choice on what you want. I would ask you back, is that okay with you? Is that what you want to experience? Right? Do you want to experience not speaking, or do you want a more beautiful version of him? Well, then see him as the more beautiful version of himself. But if you're cool with that, then that's cool as well. You can have whatever you want. There's no limitation to how people can show up. People can change overnight. I tell y'all the story, right? I always use this story because she said that I could use it. Whenever y'all tell me that y'all can use your stories, that I can use y'all stories, I'm going to use them. But having the realization mid-session, wow, I've never been unloved. I've never been betrayed. I simply was counting on the mirror to show me love. But I am, right? I am love. Source within me has always loved me. I've always been infinitely supported. I've never been betrayed. Simply remembering herself differently right now erased all the years of unloved. And guess what started happening? Hit me up the next couple of days later. All these people from my past are showing up telling me how much they loved me and how they missed me and how they wished they had treated me better. Why? Because who you are right now changes not just the past, but the future. Everything. Everything. Everything changes right now. Cults and black magic, I'm not sure I can, my brother. I'm not sure I can address those. I will tell you this, when we talk about things like black magic or cults, people have their perceptions of certain things, right? Like they're good, they're bad, they're right, they're wrong, whatever the case may be. What actually gives them power over your life is still going to be your perception. It's still going to be the same story that I always tell, right? It's our perception. Let's say that somebody's like, oh, I'm finna do some voodoo on you. What gives them the power? It's my belief, right? It's my belief in that shit. So we'll always have, quote unquote, like black magic show up. Even the doctor telling you like you're high risk for this, and then you getting that shit, he plays that voodoo doctor in your life. He plays that black magic thing in your life, right? We'll see that the more belief that we have in something, the more power that we're giving it. Now, we're the one who divides our power, and we believe in a power out there, a power down there, a power out here. This president is ruining my life. This prime minister over there is ruining my life. We're the ones who are telling that story, just dividing ourselves up. The moment that we realize, it doesn't matter what's going on outside of me. Reality is me. I have full authority. I'm a sovereign being. You have a sovereign mind, and you can determine exactly what you want to be impacted by. That's where your power is. Right, you can literally put up that force field that nothing penetrates, right? Now, I will say this, right? When we come down to black men, I used to be in a school of thought that was like, wanting negative for someone is negative. I used to be in that school of thought. However, now I've shifted beliefs to where I don't know what negative is anymore, right? I get it from my human perception, of course. Don't get me wrong. I know negative and positive from my human perspective, but I no longer identify that God within me as good or bad. It simply is. It simply is all that there is. And if it's all that there is, well, all that there is implies what? It implies certain things that I don't like as well. But it's all that there is. It's pure everything, right? It's everything. So now that I don't perceive it as that, any place that I am at in life, any place that I'm at, I know that I can be resurrected from it. All right. So even that school of thought has kind of faded away for me. And I've had, being Nigerian, I've had family members that talk about things like that, like it's real, and how it's impacted certain members of the family, even recently, but it's not an impact in my life at all. It's not impacting my life. So, to each his own. I would simply say, if you are called to study things, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and study them. But understand that you never have to give your power away to anything. You can always hold on to your power. You're always the rightful owner of 100% of your power. Right? Humans sit around and judge all day. Let somebody fall off tomorrow. Think peace is going to be all over the place about what they should have done, could have done, would have done. Other people are going to be defending them, right? That's the human perception, right? That's why we have politics, right? We have the illusion of freedom disguised as what? Disguised as you get to vote for one of these two people. The illusion of freedom, right? So the whole system we live on is based on judgment, right? We sit here and we debate right and wrong. We can't even all debate or come together on one simple person to be a president, right? Like, we can't all agree on that. So how could we all agree on right or wrong, good or bad? It's simply a perception. It's simply a reach, an egoistic view. Right? Appreciate you. Man. Said they even poison my elders over and over. And I've had situations like that, right, in the family as well. I simply don't give it any power over me, right? Like, I don't care what you do over there, it doesn't impact me, right? Like, so, yeah, I've had those, I've seen those experiences. But then also I realized that, okay, since this is my reality, what even brought that on to those people at that time, right? Was it me? Was it my unconscious beliefs? Well, of course it was me. Of course it was. So now where does the work lie? The work lies in renewing myself, transforming myself, right? Exactly. Good and bad is just defined by us. It's a very limited way to see the world as good and bad, right and wrong, unfavorable, favorable. Especially when we talk about it in our daily life, right? Like our walk through this life. It's all fulfillment. It's all wholeness. It's all, like, you can't be anything less than fulfillment. You are already all that there is. You can't be anything less than that, so you can choose whatever you want. Why would I react to anything like it is why would I react to anything that I don't want like it is the end all be all? I simply know it's just another step on the path to fulfillment, because anything less than fulfillment is absolutely impossible, right? I am all that there is. I am the awareness, creating everything. And what I say must be. Right? There is no loss. There is no lack. There is no death. There is no poverty. There is nothing. There is nothing but my awareness. And my awareness must unfold in a beautiful way. In every aspect of my life. It's simply law. It is simply law. Even when I tell the wrong story, I simply remind myself of the truth, right? I'm constantly in that observer mode, right? In the present moment, decreeing how life is. This is our natural state of being, to be present. Before we were poisoned by the food and the phone and the TV and all these things, right? This is your true state of being, is to walk around in the present moment. In the present moment. I appreciate you, truly, I appreciate that. Thank you. What time is 7:35, y'all? I might get off a little bit early, get some meditating in and relax. Hey, I appreciate y'all, though. I always appreciate y'all, man. Truly. And that was the perfect decision. Girl, eat them burgers. Have you a couple drinks. Time itself is illusion. I do say illusion a lot. It's an unfolding, right? It's an unfolding of you. It is an unfolding of your desires through you. It is an unfolding of you through you. That's all time is. I wouldn't necessarily call it, well, it is an illusion in a soul sense, right? Because you are a higher dimensional being. You're not a naturally third dimensional being. You create this experience of time simply to get to know yourself. So it is an illusion in the sense where it does create this false sense of separation between who you are right now and what you desire. When there is none and you already have it the moment you decree it, you just have to walk through this unfolding of it here so you can experience yourself, getting to know yourself as the creator as you experience that thing. So in that sense, time is an illusion. That's very true as well. We can definitely become dissociated, for sure. But all right, y'all. I appreciate y'all today. Talk to y'all very soon. Sure, we'll talk again tomorrow, morning and evening. Don't know. Depends on how the market goes. But y'all have a beautiful, beautiful evening. Stay blessed. And until next time, peace.